guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
You're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and this is the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Want to say good morning to my Fins family and my Fin-laws. Super excited that y'all are here this morning. It is a beautiful Monday. Running a little late today. That's okay. It's a Monday. It's another case of the Mondays, but we're here. We're ready. What a great weekend in sports happened. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Always going to talk Miami Dolphins stuff, so don't you worry. Don't you fret. We're going to talk about that, too, later on this morning. But before I get down with the get down, let me do the rundown this morning and get rid of all these other things I need to tell y'all about this morning. #1, if y'all haven't done so already, go follow me on social media. At Stephen D. SKPL, spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure you guys do that every single day because that's what waking up every day is all about, spreading kindness, positivity, and love. If you haven't done that today, make sure you guys do that. Also, follow Miami Sports Music on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at Miami Sports Music, and follow them on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. Hey, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button right down below. Right down below. Go hit the like button, seriously. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Speaking of subs, I do want to give a big congratulations to Mr. TD Finstock for 20,000 subscribers. 20,000 subscribers he hit over the weekend. So congratulations to TD. That's a big accomplishment on YouTube. We're trying to get to 10,000 before the NFL draft. And so how do we do that? Well, we do that, with your help by letting people, you got to tell your friends, families, loved ones, your Fins family, your Fin-laws. Hey, there's this really cool morning show. There's this really cool YouTube channel. Make sure you guys share it and subscribe. Go on Twitter right now, tag 5 people to this YouTube channel and say, hey, go subscribe. That's your homework this morning. Go tag 5 people on social media. Tell them to subscribe to the channel this morning. Can you guys do that? Make it happen. Tag us in it, too. Tag Miami Sports Music and Stephen D. At Stephen D. SKPL, if you all forgot. Also, hey, sign up. Become a member today. There are plenty of seats at the table waiting for you. Just because you sign up or you subscribe, which I really appreciate it, you all can also become a member. Become part of the family. All right, sign up today, become part of the member, get access to perks. If you see the link in the chat, you'll see the link to join. Would love to get 3 new members in here this morning. 3 new members. There's 3 of y'all that aren't members that I'd love to see members. Let's go. Hey, look, if y'all want to help the channel grow by donating, there's 3 different ways you guys can do that. The first way is use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ down at the bottom of the chat. The second thing y'all can do is y'all can also use Cash App or PayPal. You see these little QR codes on the screen? If you guys click those QR codes or scan them, or you guys can use the link that I'm going to put in here right now. There's the link. You guys can do that too. But it goes to helping the channel grow. Even if it's $1, it goes to helping the channel grow. Speaking of donating or being able to get back something back in your donations, I do want to give a big shout out to a sponsor of the show, ZSM Sports. Zachary at ZSM Sports does amazing stuff. He's got a lot of autograph sessions coming up, a lot of sports memorabilia. This week, any donation that is $10 or more in increments of 10, just like we did last week, 10 will be 1, 20 will be 2, 30 will be 3, 40 will be 4, 50 will be 5 entries. We are giving away an autographed mini helmet, Miami Dolphins mini helmet of Jerome Baker. A Miami Dolphins mini helmet of Jerome Baker this week in increments of 10, okay? So make sure you guys check that out. Donate in increments of 10. You'll be entered to win on Friday. We'll do another drawing just like we did last Friday. Congratulations to our winners last Friday if you missed out. MCJB was 3rd place. he will get a shirt from NorCal. Level 2 noob won second place, but if Miss Fins is here, Miss Fins won the Miami Vice colored shirt from East 32 Dolphins. And then Aldo, my man Aldo, won the autograph 8x11 Brandon Jones 8x11, courtesy of ZSM Sports. So congratulations to all of them. You guys won last Friday. If you guys missed the drawing, I had a really fun time. It was about 15, 20-minute live thing I did. It's on YouTube. You guys can go check it out, okay? All right. Also, want to give a big shout-out to our sponsor, our title sponsor of the show, Tail Greeter. Tail Greeter is absolutely amazing. We love Nick, the entire team at Tail Greeter. A lot of cool stuff they got going on this year. Download the free app on your current Apple or Android device today. Tail Greeter, download the app. And go follow them on social media at Tail Greeter, TailGreeter. Make sure you check out Tail Greeter today. It's a free app. It doesn't cost you anything to download. Go download it. Go download it. And as the season starts ramping back up and there's more events, I'm going to tell you about them, and you already have access to it. So make sure you guys go get Tail Greeter today. It's a free app. Make sure you all go do that beautiful thing. This morning is Clock Blockers live every weekday starting at 9 a.m. We're a little bit late this morning. Been a crazy morning, but that's all right. Want to remind you guys, tomorrow night, Miami Sports Music's Power Hour at 8 and the Spanish-speaking Hellfins at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a podcast or you do video content or you just want to help out, email me at vpmiamisportsmusic@gmail.com. Again, vpmiamisportsmusic@gmail.com. We're looking for new content and content creators. We're looking for a lot of behind-the-scenes people. So if you're interested in helping out and helping the channel grow, I'd love to work with you. All right, so make sure you guys do that today. Want to remind you guys, Tuesday, tomorrow, will be Daniel Oyefusi of the Miami Herald with his Miami Dolphins report. Be on the lookout for that. And also want to remind you guys, this year coming up, we'll have more details as they come down the pipe. Miami Sports Music will be hosting the Baltimore Beatdown in Baltimore this year coming up, when the Dolphins travel to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens. We're going to be doing a whole big shenanigans over here in Baltimore. It's going to be a lot of fun. That'll be hosted by myself, Miami Sports Music. And we'll have help from the two Northern Virginia fan clubs, Valley Fanatics and Nova Doll fans. East 32 will be there. We'll have the DJ Sick Turtle will be there, and Worldwide Dolphins. And obviously Tail Greeter will be a big part of that. So be on the lookout for more information as that comes available. What's up? How y'all doing? Let me say hello to everybody in the chat this morning because I didn't do that yet. All right. So number one, Flipside Fishing was the first one here this morning, even before me. Shout out to Flipside. What's up, Flipside? How are you doing, buddy? Marino's Goat. Bones. What's up, Bones? Trucker Sean, 1981. Shake Money is in the building. Hello, Shake Money. Good morning, my neighbors. It's another beautiful day in Zamunda. Shake Money, come back. Become a member of the channel again. Baby, come back. I can give you all you need. All right, yes, Shake Money, come back. B. George is in the building. Mark, what is going on, buddy? How are you? Is it Nishan? What's up, Nishan? How are you, man? Fins up, TNT. Raul's in the building. I am Aqua Beast is in the building. 1, 2, 3, 4. Epps is in the building. Taking my dog to the vet. What's up, Epps? Hope your dog's okay. Adriel, what is going on? Epps says RIP with the $2 donation to Dwayne Haskins. That is a sad, sad story. For those of you who don't know, I don't know where you've been, but Dwayne Haskins was in South Florida over the weekend. I think it was Friday. And got out of his car over there. I think it was 595, if I'm correct. And was struck by a truck and, you know, from what we've heard, was instantly pronounced dead on the scene. It's very, very sad, the whole situation. You know, and then there was a lot of, you know, aftershock, after events, you know, between the Adam Schefter tweet, which got a lot of play, a lot of negativity, and I'll dive into that a little bit. and I'll just talk about that briefly. But let me finish the hellos, and then we'll get into that a little bit. Want to say good morning to Chef Zhu. Shout out to Chef Zhu this morning. He says, subscribe, like, share, donate, and become a member. Your seat is waiting for you to join the family. That is correct. Trekker Sean says, can't wait to go to the beatdown. It's going to be a lot of fun, Trekker Sean. You'll be there. Hopefully other people will be there too. Anthony, best Miami morning show. I like it. I like it. Level 2 noob is in the building. What is up, buddy? How are you? Mark says Panthers and Heat looking great on the top seeds in the NHL and NBA. We're going to talk a little bit about that too, Mark. It'll be a lot of fun. Chef Zhu, Andres, A-Rod. What's up, A-Rod? A-Rod, an original member of the show. A-Rod, come back, man. Come back, A-Rod. Trucker Sean. All right, so yeah, I mean, let's dive right into it, shall we? Over the weekend, Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, I believe Pittsburgh, right? Is it Pittsburgh or Washington he was the quarterback of? But just a sad situation what happened with him. But what I want to get into, because I think a lot of us know about it, is the tweet that Adam Schefter had. So Adam Schefter, NFL Network, basically came out and said, hey, this is what happened. But in the tweet about his death said, and struggling to catch on in the NFL. And I don't, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to defend Adam Schefter because what he said was wrong. I just want to throw that out there. It was insensitive at the very least. But what I will say is when you are in the media, okay, and I just want you all to put this in the back of your mind. When you're in the media and every day your job is to inform the public on X, Y, and Z, and you're also a little bit of a personality yourself, and Adam Schefter is, right? We can't say, whatever. But, to make the Gil Brandt's a totally different story. I'm talking about Adam Schefter first. When it comes to Adam Schefter, his remarks were very insensitive. But that's the thing about Twitter, right? Twitter, once you put it out there, it's done. And you don't even think about it sometimes. You don't even think about it. And that's probably part of the problem. That is part of the problem. You have these people that cover the teams, and their first thought is to go right into football. What they don't realize all the time, and it's not necessarily their fault, it's how they're programmed, it's how they work, it's how the engine cycle works of covering a team or covering sports, is you don't necessarily always think about the person first, good, bad, or otherwise. It's the reality of the situation. Now, the hope is we can learn from this situation, and people like Adam Schefter and all of them can learn how to cover these players as human beings better. But I think that, that's part of the problem. And when Adam Schefter made his tweet over the weekend, again, I don't think he was thinking about that. I think he was just, hey, look, this is a guy who's struggling in the NFL. And I don't want to defend Adam Schefter. I know it sounds like I am. I'm on Twitter every day. I'm on social media every single day. And I think that's the one thing that scares me is one day I'm going to put out something and it's going to get blasted. Like somebody, and that's the reality of the business that I'm in. Somebody's going to see something I wrote and be like, what? That's the reality of what it is. And we live in such a cancel culture too that's another thing. So, look, do I think that Adam Schefter was wrong for what he did? Of course I do. But I also think people are entitled to make mistakes, and that's what I'll say about Adam and the whole Adam Schefter situation. Now, as far as Gil Brandt is concerned, I really don't even know the full details of Gil Brandt, just knowing that he has said some insensitive stuff in the past, like really bad. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Gil Brandt in any way, shape, or form, nor have I ever been. Shake Money says, can you imagine if they put everything you say under a microscope? People in glass houses throw stones. No doubt. Sup, the problem is not he made the tweet. The problem is, as far as I know, he didn't apologize for it yet. Franzi, I don't know if he did or he didn't. I know Gil Brandt apologized already. He came out with a public statement apologizing for whatever the remarks he said. But, you know, again, I go back to, I'm not going to defend Gil Brandt. And I don't even know the full story of Gil Brandt. I just know he's made some outlandish and crazy, insensitive remarks horribly in the past. And that's my big, oh, here's the Gil Brandt. All right. I appreciate it, Alex. Okay. Here is Gil Brandt on NFL radio. He was asked whether Dwayne Haskins. All right, so this is 2 minutes long, and this is Gil Haskins. All right, let me share this. Let me go to share screen. Share audio. All right, so this is Gil Haskins. Let me put this in here. Or this is Gil Brandt. This is Gil Brandt about Dwayne Haskins. Sorry, this is Gil Brandt on Dwayne Haskins, and it's about 2 minutes long.
Got to know the young man a little bit, but also from a scouting standpoint, you analyzed him over the years at Ohio State and coming into the league with the Washington Commanders and then going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy, and what wanted your thoughts on that, and also on the player, because you did chronicle his career very closely.
Well, you know, Dan, I hate anytime anybody is killed or anybody dies. But he was a guy that was living to be dead, so to speak. You know, they told him, don't under any circumstances leave school early. You just don't have the work habits. You don't have this. You don't have that. What did he do? Left school early. I always can remember this. We invited players to the draft, and he was one of the players we invited to the draft. And we were told, no, we're going to have our own party. His own party was a party at the bowling alley, charged him $50 to get into the bowling alley for his party. It was always something, you know. It's one of those things. I'm never offside, but they keep calling me for offside. Is what it is. So, you know, it's a tragic thing. Anytime anybody dies, it's tragic. And especially when you're 24 years old and you got your whole life ahead of you. But you know, maybe if he'd have stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things. I mean, when you're jogging on a highway, you know, on a road like that leaves it open, because I tell you, guy has 2 drinks and he's just a little bit to the right side of the road and gets hit and killed. It's easy to happen.
Yeah. I want to just share this. This is a statement that.
So, first of all, that was Gil Brandt on NFL radio. Some of the quotes there, he basically said he was a guy that was living to be dead. It was always something with Haskins. Maybe if he had stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things like jogging on the highway. So, a couple things. Number one, that's somebody who's not informed in any way, shape, or form. That's one. Number two, this is not the first time Gil Brandt has said some outlandish, wildest stuff like this. And again, I go back to the Adam Schefter and Gil Brandt are in totally 2 different things. In my opinion, Gil Brandt is a straight clown. This is not, I'm not defending him, nor will I. And this is not the first time he has said anything like this. Schefter, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he said an insensitive thing at the very wrong time. And the hope is that you learn from it and you're able to to do things better moving forward. But Gil Brandt, come on, man. Like you can't even defend that. You can't even defend that. And look, I don't like throwing the word racism or racist around vaguely because that's not who I am. But what I will say, Gil Brandt definitely has some. He definitely sounds like 40 years ago or still today. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I don't know Gil Brandt, never met the guy. I'm just telling you from the outside looking in and knowing stuff he said in the past before. Gil Brandt is a clown, and I'm not a big fan of him in any way, shape, or form. And it's sad because the story should be a young man tragically passed away. That's what the story should be. That it's a very sad, and you got to remember, somebody lost a loved one, husband, son, family member. I don't want to hear about the mistakes he made in life. We all make mistakes in life. I want to hear that he was, look, here's the other reality too. Who cares that he struggled in the NFL? Who cares? He made it to the NFL. You know how many people get to do that? Not a lot. He was a very talented player. Very talented. Irving says, R.I.P. to Dwayne Haskins. I was a big supporter of his. He was a talented player and even better human being. Condolences to his lovely family. Yep, hit the nail on the head. Alexander says, Adam Schefter and Gil Brandt, when you say some things like that, it's what's in your heart. That's who you are. Again, I don't want to put Schefter and Gil Brandt in the same. They're not in the same category. They're not. Adam Schefter made insensitive remarks, and I think regrets that, I mean, I don't want to speak for him. I'm just telling you, I don't believe that's who Adam Schefter is. I think he said some pretty messed up stuff in his past. Too. Don't get me wrong, he's made mistakes too. I don't want to say that he's been perfect. But I think that was a very innocent, I was thinking about sports and not about the person. And sometimes it's tough knowing what I do every day to get that out of your mind. But Gil Brandt, that guy is crazy. Mikey says, Adam deleted his tweet pretty quick too. He knows he messed up, but let's hold him to a higher standard than we hold ourselves. I agree with that, Mikey, 100%. Two things. Number one, I don't think he should lose his job. I think come out with an apology and moving forward, just know that when stuff like this happens, you have to separate the football side of stuff. Clumsy said, so when I looked for it on Twitter, Schefter changed the tweet and took the struggle part out, but he didn't tweet anything like, I'm sorry for being insensitive. I'm not going to sit here and throw stones at Schefty. Bones says, the media never let things go. 3 days of this man's death. Too much these people opinions are like buttholes. Everyone has one. You're right about that, Bones. The journalist and Adam overtook him. Yeah. But Gil Brandt, that guy, messed up in every way, shape, or form. All right. Enough about that. I do want to say one last time, R.I.P. to Dwayne Haskins and his entire family. It's a very messed up situation. And I don't envy him at all. I don't envy his family, and it's a very tough situation to be him and be in, and my heart and prayers go out to him and his entire family. So, R.I.P. man. All right, next, there's no great way to segue into it, but we'll get right into real quick. We'll get into a little bit of the Masters. The Masters happened over the weekend. I don't know about you, but for the first 2.5 days, I was stuck in front of my TV looking at Tiger. He didn't have a great event. but it was still, but he's still Tiger, and seeing him hit a golf shot was still absolutely amazing to watch. Was still amazing to watch. Scotty Scheffler ended up winning. Scheffler, by the way, I think has won 4 out of the last 6 PGA Tour events. Dude is good. Dude is legit good. Scheffler won with 10 under. Rory McIlroy, who had a bad first couple of days, came back, finished the tournament 7 under. So he was 3 strokes back from Scheffler. But Scheffler won the entire weekend and was dominant the entire weekend. And, you know, to say that somebody's won 4 out of the last 6 events, I'm going to tell you this. Nobody's been on a run like that since Tiger. And there's something to be said of that. There's something to be said of that. And what I'll say to that is he's good. The kid is good. And Tiger finishing where he finished, I think Tiger finished 7 plus, if I'm correct. It was like 37th to 38. Tiger Woods finished 13 over. Wow. A lot worse than what I thought. But still, you know, even to finish 13 over, you got to remember Augusta is one of the hardest golf courses in America to play. And that's what, you know, he still came back after what? How many months? Almost a full year, and still was like he looked good that first day. He was in it that first day. You were like, oh, wait. So it'll be exciting to see. He did say after the tournament that he'll never play a full schedule again. He did say that he'll do the European Open, which will be good. Revo said had a better Thursday than his average Thursday at Augusta. He did 100%. You know, he looked good in the beginning. The last couple of days, I didn't watch the last couple of days because it just wasn't the same. But that's still, he was good. He was real good. All right, enough about the Masters tournament. Let's get into the next. So the other thing that was big over the weekend, UFC, happened over the weekend. UFC 273. It was such a great card. It was such a great card. If you missed it, I'm sorry that you missed it because it was ridiculously good. For those of you who don't watch a lot of UFC, you should because it's really good. The Korean Zombie lost to Alexander Volkanovski. I can't say his last name for the life of me. But it was so good. Level 2 Noob said, you missed an insane Sunday round from Rory. Rory was plus, I think, on Thursday or Friday. Real quick, just to go back to the Masters real quick. He was plus, if I'm correct, right? And then, I mean, he had a crazy Sunday. He came back. He came storming back. Just couldn't make it happen. He was down too much. And it's not even he was down too much. Scotty was just destroying that match. So to go back to UFC, though, real quick, because I just wanted to, Level 2 Noob say that. It was a great fight. And then Aljamain Sterling, I'm telling you right now, when it comes to UFC, the bantamweight is one of the best weight classes in all of UFC. He beat Peter Yan. It was a decision. It was great. Gilbert Burns in the welterweight class lost the Shamanov, and it was another great fight. There was really good fight. Mark Madsen won in the lightweight division. It was a lot of good fights. I'm excited to see what happens coming up. I think, if I'm correct, the next big event is 274, which is Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, which will be good. And then Thug Rose also will be fighting on that fight card, which will be good. So that is a May 7th. That's a UFC 274. Great fight card. So good fight. Good fight card coming up. UFC 273 was good too. So yeah, good fight. It was a lot of good weekend of sports. Even NASCAR was big this weekend. NASCAR was big over the weekend. If you missed they raced at Martinsville on Saturday night under the lights. Byron, the number 24 car, Jeff Gordon's old car number, getting the win. Crazy, I think. I want to say only like 16 or 17 cars finished on the lead lap. But Friday night, which was the Xfinity race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. raced, which was cool to see Dale Earnhardt Jr. back in a car. He races once a year. And he races in that series because it's a lot of young guys, and he likes racing with the young guys. And then there was a big fight at the end of that race, which was awesome. Was so awesome to see that. Yeah, that was good. All right, let's see here. What else did we got over the weekend? Over the weekend, Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball opening weekend over the weekend. I don't want to say that the Marlins had a bad weekend, but they didn't have a great weekend, right? So if you're looking at the weekend, they lost yesterday 3-2 to the Giants. They won on Saturday 2-1 to the Giants, and they lost on Friday 6-5 to the Giants in extra innings. The Marlins, even though they didn't play a great weekend, they didn't look horrible. They got a big series coming up against the Angels in LA. They're still over there on the West Coast. They get that West Coast trip right off the bat and get it out of the way. I think that's so big for the Marlins. A lot of things happened over the weekend. What I will say from the Marlins standpoint is Jazz Chisholm is going to be the man. He's going to be the man. I think he's going to have an all-star year. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. What's going to be big for the Marlins is their bullpen. Their bullpen's got to come in and be able to save games, and that's what's going to be big for the Marlins moving forward. The other big thing that happened in baseball over the weekend, there's only one undefeated team left. Everybody lost this weekend except for one team, and that was the Tampa Bay Rays. Our boy Xavier Scruggs' team. He does the pregame and postgame for them. You can also check out Xavier Monday through Friday, starting today on MLB Network at 3 p.m. for Off Base. It's just like Good Morning Football, except for baseball. So go check out him. Go tell him I sent you to go watch. Tweet him, Instagram him, whatever. Tell him that I sent you to go watch. Let's help. He's a big supporter of our show and our brand, and we want to support him. So that's pretty big. So Tampa Bay looks good. Tampa Bay looks like I think they're going to be the best team in baseball. Now, granted, they played the Orioles, and the Orioles, we know how they are. I live up here in Baltimore. They're the worst team in baseball, probably. So, crazy weekend in Major League Baseball. It was a lot of cool stuff. Two bench clearing brawls happened over the weekend. One in Toronto. The other one, I believe it was in Washington. Buck Showalter. Crazy. The New York Mets, the Nationals. We thought it was absolutely crazy. Now, something that did happen over the weekend that I thought was big in baseball. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So that Toronto game, the Toronto Blue Jays call. So one thing that Major League Baseball did this year that they haven't done in past years is they gave the umpire mics. So when a call is made, the umpire now can say to the crowd and to the TV what happened. And I don't think we realize how big in football that is, and maybe we do, but I thought it was so good. Here it is right here. This is the call. I believe it was Sunday's game or Saturday's game. I'm not exactly sure which one. But this is the reaction. It was opening day. Okay, it was Blue Jays. It was Friday. And this is the reaction of the Blue Jays crowd in Toronto. Hopefully y'all can hear it.
The runner is safe.
Boy, you thought it was a postseason game.
After review, the runner is safe.
Boy, that crowd was hype.
Final runner will be placed at third base.
That crowd was hype. I'm telling you, I don't know if baseball saw it, and hopefully they did, or somebody told them that it would be. But little stuff like that makes a game 10 times more interesting to fans. To have the umpire make the call to the crowd and then get that reaction is everything in sports. And that was really cool to see. Again, I'm not a Blue Jays fan. I don't even like the Blue Jays. But that was a really cool reaction to see. I enjoyed that, watching that. It was a lot of fun. Von Joe says, so Major League Baseball is joining football and NBA. Yes, they are. Yep, they were. All right, let's see here. What else happened over the weekend? By the way, Marlins Angels series starts today. That'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you check that out. First pitch, I believe, is 9:38 Eastern Standard Time because they're over on the West Coast. Hernandez is on the bump tonight for the Marlins. The Marlins started their season 1-3. They didn't look good in their first 4 games. So we'll have to see how they do. And I'm interested to see how the Marlins shape up against them because that lineup's crazy. Shohei Ohtani, Mike Trout, 2 of the best players arguably in the game the Marlins are going to face over the week. And so that'll be a lot of fun to see how that goes there. They played Monday, Tuesday. They're off Wednesday. And then Thursday, they are home for their home opener against the Philadelphia Phillies. So that'll be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys go check out Marlins. That'll be a lot of good stuff there. All right, now, 2 things that happened. Again, Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. Last NBA game. We'll get into that. And the top seed being we all know what it was, is the Miami Heat. Miami Heat had the second best record in all of the NBA, only behind Phoenix, but they're #1 in the West. And so this is how it's going to look like. So this is the tournament. I like how NBA does it now. They have 7, 8, and 9, 7 through 10 do a play-in tournament. Before we get to the East, I'll just start in the West. The 10th seed, the Spurs. Spurs suck. We all know Spurs suck. And for those of you who watch the morning show, we know we have a lot of Spurs fans that listening. But they'll be playing New Orleans. They're 9 and 10, and 7 and 8 are the Timberwolves and the Clippers. And then so the loser of both those games will go on to face each other. Or excuse me, the winner of 9 and 10 will face the loser of 7 and 8. The winner of 7 and 8 will advance to be the 7th seed to face Memphis, and then the winner, and then the 9-10 game will face the Phoenix Suns. So we'll see how that goes down. The Eastern Conference, your Miami Heat, finishing the season at 53 and 29, making the 1 seed. They're either going to face Atlanta, Charlotte, who they killed the other night, by the way, Brooklyn, or Cleveland. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really scared of any of them. I think a lot of Miami Heat fans don't want to see Brooklyn in that first round. And if I'm honest with myself, I don't either. I'd rather see Brooklyn face Boston in that first round and us face either Atlanta, Charlotte, or Cleveland. Get it jump-started, get it going. Because I saw what Miami did to Charlotte the other night, and they absolutely destroyed it. And by the way, Charlotte's not a bad team. They're a young team. They're growing. They're fun to watch. They got a lot of young, good players. But it'll be a lot of fun. The 2 seed is Boston. The 3 seed is Milwaukee, the defending champions. 4 seed is Philly. 5 seed is Toronto. 6 seed is Chicago. And then, obviously, like I said, 7th is Brooklyn, 8 is Cleveland, 9 is Atlanta, and Charlotte is 10th. And then they'll have the play-in tournament to see who'll be the 7th and 8th seeds. There's 2 series that really stand out to me in this opening round. The Golden State-Denver series, 6-3 in the West, is going to be a great series to watch. Great series to watch. And then the other seed that I think will be really, really good to watch and fun to watch will be Toronto and Philly. And if Brooklyn makes the 7th and goes against the 2 in Boston, I think Brooklyn and Boston will be another good series. But the 2 series that really stick out to me will be Golden State and Denver and Philly and Toronto. I think those will be 2 fun series to watch. It'll be a lot of fun to see. Miami, I think, is going to speed through whoever they play in that first round, and we'll have to see what happens. And, I think Milwaukee takes care of Charlotte. If Brooklyn ends up being the 7th seed, I could see Brooklyn beating Boston. I think Golden State takes care of Denver, although I wouldn't be surprised if Denver does take care of Golden State. Utah and Dallas will be a fun game to watch, fun series to watch. I'm rooting for Dallas in that series. I just like Mark Cuban. So that'll be a fun. And then I think no matter who plays Memphis, Memphis will take care of whoever they play in the first round too. So that's what I see. My finals prediction, just looking here, is probably going to be Phoenix and Miami. Phoenix and Miami. I'm going to go chalk when it comes to prediction there, because Phoenix is just so good out in the West, and they're just good, period. Devin Booker, that whole team in Phoenix is great. And then I think, people want to say that Miami's a soft 1 seed outside of the NBA. That's fine. Think that. Miami Heat they're arguably have the best bench in the league, and they're just so good. They're so good. So I'm excited to see Miami and what they do. It'll be a lot of fun. Go Heat. Go Heat. All right, enough about that. Let's keep it moving. NHL, I believe, if I'm correct in saying, is pretty much done. Not too many more games left for the season. I think I'm trying to figure out exactly how many games are left. It can't be that many if there are. Here we go. Here's the Panthers. Here we go. Games left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 games left for the Panthers. The Panthers are sitting at 72 and 51. Toronto being right there. Tampa Bay being right there. I said 72 and 51. 51 and 15. I apologize. 51 and 15. Toronto's 47 and 19. Tampa Bay's 44 and 20. Games played were 72. That's what I meant to say. So, look, I think Panthers are the best team in the hockey. They're putting on an unbelievable run, one that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. So we'll have to see what it comes to. But I am excited to see the Panthers make a run at this thing. We'll see what happens over the last 10 games. But I think they win 7 of the last 10. They stay in first place, and it'll be a lot of fun. Again, all I want to see the Panthers do is face Tampa Bay in the playoffs, beat Tampa, and then I want to go all the way and win the cup. Let's go Panthers. South Florida sports is hopping, baby. Popping, hopping, flip-flopping. Love it. Super excited about it. And that is the weekend in sports. That's your weekend in sports. It was a fun weekend. A lot of fun. A lot of fun this weekend. We'll have to see what happens as they move forward. Look, the other thing that happened over the weekend was Tua's luau. Tua had his foundation's luau over the weekend. A lot of people went. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people from the Miami Dolphins were there. Mike McDaniel, Dan Marino, a lot of cool photo ops. So that'll be a lot of fun. This, was a lot of fun. But basically, what I saw, granted, it's a foundation event. You usually see people there, but I saw McDaniel. I think the players love this guy. To get into the Dolphin talk, I think the players love this guy. There's not too much you can say about this guy that doesn't get your pulse going. That doesn't get your pulse going. Omar Castro says, you ain't do boxing. I'm not a big boxing guy, Omar. Especially when you have YouTubers that take over your sport. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I didn't talk LeBron James either, Anthony. It is weird seeing no LeBron in the postseason. Yeah, man. Omar says, I'm with McDaniel. He's cool after all that two event. Yes. Omar says Flo wouldn't have gone. We're not going there. But what I'll say is it sounds like it will be. It sounds like a match made in heaven. How about that? And so I'm excited to see what happens there. There's not a lot of news that came out over the weekend. We'll have to see what happens for the Miami Dolphins. The draft is coming up. I do plan on, after talking tomorrow with Daniel, to start doing some mock drafts. We have 4 picks. I don't know what they're going to look like. We got Thomas Morstead, so anybody who did a mock draft with getting Matt Ariza in their mock draft, you might as well throw that out the window. Omar says, didn't we have a big debate about boxing versus MMA? Yes, we did. We have had that on here. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so what I'm going to do is, this morning is your morning, because there's not a lot of Miami Dolphins news. And I really didn't kind of know where to take this morning. I knew there was a big weekend of sports. I wanted to do a quick rundown of that. So what I decided to do is, let me go ahead and just set up this weekend or this morning show for you guys, you, the fans. This is Miami Sports Music's podcast network, a network made for the fans by a fan. And this is your number one Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up the lines for y'all. This is the link. Come on. I'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. Do want to remind you guys, donate to the channel, help the channel grow. And remember, if you donate in increments of 10, you will be entered to win on Friday an autographed mini helmet of Jerome Baker, a Miami Dolphins mini helmet of Jerome Baker. So be on the lookout for that. I'm going to have photos, hopefully, if not by this evening, tomorrow. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Ricky asked, do you think Tom Brady, Miami Dolphins quarterback next year if we don't make the playoffs this year? Well, you asked the question. I'll just answer it, and I'll say, no, I don't think. I don't think that's the case. Because what I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Ricky, is that you will see Tua ball out this year. Tua ball out. Saxman J. Will says Frank Vogel out as Lakers head coach. Yes, did you see the press conference last night, Saxman? So he was in his press conference yesterday after they won the last game, and the reporter was like, hey, so we've heard that you're getting fired. And he's like, I didn't know SH you know what. I just know we won, and I'm excited about it. So he got called out that it was going down. Look, it wouldn't surprise me. They got to do something. They got to do something about it. So we'll have to see. All right, first person I got in the back room here is Estefan. Spurs suck, Estefan. What's up?
What's up, man? We're coming back. You
made the playoffs.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Man, I just seen you on, man. I just wanted to chop it up, man. I heard Omar talking about boxing, man. What's up, man? Hey, dude, besides some of the sports you mentioned, in MMA, Chimaev and that Burns fight was on fire this weekend. That was such a good fight. Went 3 rounds. Should have been 5.
UFC 273 was crazy. It was a crazy fight card. It was really
good. that Russian Chimaev, man. If y'all haven't checked him out, he's over there training every now and then at AKA in San Jose, which is the same gym that Cain Velasquez, Rockhold, Khabib, Daniel Cormier, the legends. Yeah. That's a legends gym right there, man. Those are all killers. That's where he's coming out of. So, but I think he's going to get better off that fight. And then I know Castro was the guy in the comments was talking about boxing. Ryan Garcia fought this weekend. He's good. He's fast. But
look, I'm losing listeners as you're talking boxing. Nobody.
Yeah. Let me throw that guy a little nugget. So Ryan Garcia's hands were fast. He fought an opponent from Ghana that was also good. He was just a little bit short. It looked like it was weight difference in that fight, size difference. So these guys, man, the problem with boxing right now, man, is these guys all call each other out on social media, but they ain't fighting each other, man. You got the lightweight division. You got everybody calling each other out. You got the welters. I mean, we should have already seen Bud Crawford and Earl Spence fight already. Those two guys, and Bud Crawford is still getting better.
That's the thing.
Earl Spence.
Nobody cares about boxing.
That's what you think, homie. I heard Omar in the chat. So, but you can't close off other sports because this is my advice to you is anybody that has any form of just intrigue towards sports in general, when you don't understand something, you'll gravitate it towards it to try to learn it or understand it.
So
and if you grasp a hold of any of it, you might actually, you might end up liking it. You know what I mean? That's all I got to say.
And I'll tell you what, I do talk about baseball. Not a lot of baseball fans on the channel.
Yeah, a lot of people think baseball sucks. It puts them to sleep.
I love baseball. Love baseball. And then I also talk NASCAR and I talk golf this weekend. I'm just saying, 3 sports that people say, oh, they put me to sleep. It was crazy this weekend in all 3 of those sports. We had fights. We had Tiger back. We had baseball back. We had fights in baseball. Come on now. It was crazy over there.
Man. If y'all haven't seen that Burns fight from this weekend, y'all need to look at the highlights. Trust me. You won't regret it.
All right, let me bring on Alexander. What's up, Alexander?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on?
Steven, speaking of fights, man, boy,
yeah,
don't you love some Buck Showalter?
I was just about to get into that, Steven. I'm gonna say one thing, but David Martinez is a piece of garbage, and I'm gonna know that I'm gonna let you know that right now. 4 hit batsmen in 2 games, 4, and 2 of them were running, and one was at the head of Pete Alonso, and the second was at Lindor's head the next day. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
This is
Seriously?
for those of you who don't know what he's talking about. So this was here, and I'll share audio. This was yesterday, or no? This was this Friday? Was this Friday?
No,
this
was
Friday.
It was Saturday night.
Saturday night.
It went from
second game.
Saturday.
This is the second game of the year. The Mets and Nationals are in the same division. That guy right there is Buck Showalter. For those of you who don't know, Buck Showalter coached for managed 8 years for the Orioles. I've met him on multiple occasions. I absolutely love this guy. I think he is, in my opinion, the best manager in baseball. But I'm biased. But I love him. Love him. This is. So the Nationals threw at the Mets players 4 times, and this is the result of what happened.
Buck Showalter is immediately out. We talked about how this was a really tense game yesterday.
And both dugouts are out there on the field.
Dugouts have cleared.
Well, they weren't playing, boy.
Now. 3
Look at Francisco Lindor.
Yesterday against the Nationals. It sounded like Buck and Dave had cleared the air. They know that they're trying to find a grip on these new baseballs, and it's just
By the way, big shout out to
Lindor.
Apple
You're
TV.
trying to see him have
They
a
did
turnaround
such a
year with
great
this
job
club
showing
that he
the
signed
games.
such a big contract with.
Apple TV's got like 80 or 90
that
games
was
this year.
scary to see Lindor go
Steven,
down.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I thought Apple TV, the broadcast was a little boring.
We're going to keep people.
No, I thought they did a great job.
Pete Alonso got lucky yesterday, as that ricocheted again right off the ear flap. He had a busted up lip. He was negative for concussion protocol.
It was
Eric Young Jr.,
really,
Soto, a couple other guys
fun.
who are taking the time to check on.
It was a lot of fun. Look, here's what I'll say about it. Right, like as far as Apple TV is concerned, Apple. I need y'all to realize a couple things. Number one, sports is going towards that direction.
Yes.
So what you're going to see in the next 2 to 3 years, Apple, Amazon, they're going to own the sports industry. They're going to have baseball. They're going to have football. Sunday Ticket will leave DirecTV. Guaranteed.
I think it's going to go to Amazon.
Whether that goes to YouTube or whether that goes to Amazon is to be determined. But I'm telling you, one of those two things will get it. And it's going to be and they did such a good job with baseball this weekend. Personally, the camera angles were great. They're shooting everything. It looks like in 8K, not 4K, and it's it looks great.
I don't agree with this whole narrative about the new baseball stuff like that. Don't give me that. Don't give me that garbage. Don't give me that garbage, man. Because if that was the issue, then why did Scherzer go after any of the Nats hitters?
Calm down, Mets fan. Just calm down.
I'm sorry. I'm just hyped up.
Go, hey, Matt. Hey, we got a Yankees fan up here. Go ahead, Roach. Take yourself off mute. Tell him what time it is.
Oh, look, he's a Buffalo Sabres fan. The ultimate whammy.
I grew up in upstate New York, so if y'all know where like Binghamton is,
the ultimate heartbreak and the Sabres fan.
I know. And then until now, I was a heartbreak Dolphin fan. Now I'm a happy Dolphin fan. So
I put you on mute, Alexander, because you're getting in your car and I hear the car in the background.
No, I was gonna say I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a great night.
Alexander.
Right?
Have a good one.
Too, man.
Mets suck. Mets suck.
Steven, what do I got to do to get the Sabres to like do good?
Bro, it's not going to happen this year.
It's
probably not going to happen next year.
Well, we got Eichel back, so that's good.
I will tell you, the Buffalo Sabre fans, like, I've not been to a game there, but I've watched a playoff game there. It looks great, the atmosphere there. There's two places that I would want to go see a NHL playoff game, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be the Nashville. I'd love to see the Predators play a playoff game because that atmosphere looks crazy. And Buffalo looks great too.
I never got to see the Buffalo Sabres play live, but I did recruiting for the Navy in Minneapolis, and I got to see the Wild. I got to see
Minnesota Wild.
Yeah, that was fun. And then they had a lacrosse team, a pro lacrosse team out there called the Swarm. Now that indoor lacrosse is legit.
Roach, I'm with you. Dolphins, Sabres, Yankees. Haha, Sabres to be good, please. Need to leave. They've killed the franchise.
Yeah.
Pegasus?
Yeah, I think they own the Bills too, don't they? They own all of them?
Let's see here. Alex says, I don't believe that new baseball narrative like it was a conspiracy against the Mets. Oh, my God. Too funny. I mean,
so what's weird is growing up in New York, being a Dolphins fan.
Yeah.
Because I grew up upstate New York, which it's on the border of PA. So it's actually southern New York, but it's considered upstate.
I know where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're near Watkins Glen.
Yeah. My dad just went there actually. And
speaking of NASCAR.
Yeah. He went up there there's a casino up there.
There's a lot of great. So my wife and I went several years ago to a wedding. They have a buttload of wineries up there. And it's pretty good.
But I was like, I can't be a Jets fan growing up because they're Jets and Giants weren't in New York. They're in New Jersey. It's the biggest lie in all of sports. The Jets and Giants play in New Jersey. New Jersey taxpayers paid for their stadium. And then my dad was a Bills fan. I really wanted to piss him off. And Dan Marino's out here slinging touchdowns, back in the 80s and 90s. And I'm
back in the 80s and 90s.
And my godfather was a Dolphin fan from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like always over at his house, and I became a Dolphin fan. So every holiday I would get Bills and Dolphin stuff, and I would toss the Bills stuff aside.
See, that's how I knew you were a good kid. You were a good kid because of that.
And then, do you remember the Super Bowl where the Giants beat the Bills?
Yes.
Wide right?
Wide right.
I have a family video of me as a little kid wearing a Dan Marino jersey, and my dad has the whole living room decorated for this Bills match. And we're sitting there. And I'm watching this field goal. He misses it. I run and jump on my knees in front of the TV, start cheering, and he just spears tackles me and like punches me right in the gut on our family video.
That's awesome. Nothing like
and he was wearing
child abuse at its finest over sports.
He was wearing a Jim Kelly jersey. I should put that on YouTube. I should tell him, send me that tape.
No, send it to me and I'll put it on YouTube. We'll air it on our morning show here. We'll air it on our morning show. All right, let me bring in Sharif. What's up, Sharif?
Hey, morning. How you guys doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Great. I appreciate the hockey talk, man. How about them Florida Marlins? I want to touch on
Florida Marlins. You mean Florida Panthers? Marlins or baseball?
Yeah, the Florida Panthers. Yeah. Actually, I also want to touch on the the Miami Marlins, and I want to touch on the Dolphins.
Go ahead.
So I want to ask you both, or fans in the comment, about the Marlins, and what do you think about Trevor Rogers outing. I don't want to go too deep because you win in October. So, but what do you think about our outing so far against the Giants?
Well,
And
I'll answer that question. It's funny you say that. So let me start off by saying I watched a lot of baseball this weekend. And one of the things I watched was San Diego on, I think it was the second game. And the Padres pitcher, and I cannot think of his name for the life of me, had a no-hitter going into the eighth. And at the beginning of the season, you're on a pitch count, which means you only pitch so many pitches, right? And so they benched him. He had a no-hitter through 7, and they benched him. And I'm texting Xavier Scruggs about this, and Xavier's like, "Oh, they got him on the pitch count." I'm like, "I know, but how many no-hitters happen, right?" I say that to say this: to go to Trevor Rogers' first outing, it's fine. Like, all these guys are on a pitch count. I think this weekend's games for the Marlins would have turned out a little bit differently had the pitchers been allowed to go a little bit deeper into the game. But, they lost, 2 out of 3, and both of those games they lost by 1 run, and one of them was in extras. So the Marlins could easily be 3-0. Easily. At minimum, 2-1. But, they lost those 2 games, and that sucks. And, it goes back to just like any good team or any sports. Good teams find a way to win. But it's the beginning of the year. It's not a race. It's a marathon. It's 154 games, I think, this year. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine.
what do you think about Jacob Stallings versus Alfaro?
I don't really have. Look, I'll say when it comes to
Alfaro strikes out a lot, but I really love the kid upside. I don't know if we got rid of him or if he's healing from an injury. To be honest, I gotta look that up. But Jacob Stallings,
Alfaro's is a all-star, isn't he?
Alfaro, no, he's not. He's not an all-star for us, but he was our young catcher last year.
So is Stallings the guy that was the
Stallings is a veteran, maybe able to deal with the staff right
He won
now.
the Gold Glove. He won the Gold Glove last year. So, when it comes to catchers, I would rather have better defensive person than a better offensive person. And I think Stallings is the better catcher. He won a Gold Glove last year. That goes a long way.
Definitely. And on the Dolphins, so I've been seeing now that the defense basically brought back everyone.
Yep.
And we hear rumors, and nobody knows definitely what went down with Gerald Alexander and who moved Boyer and who took the playbook and flow. But I do know this. I had this discussion on a couple of other panels. If we brought everyone back, because we believe we're 9th in stopping the run and we're 22nd in stopping the pass. So to me, that's not even good. That's much less very good. So if you're betting on bringing every single person back and Boyer decides to, let's say, do something that got the playbook taken from him in the first place, what would you do week 1 and week 2 if you see soft zone or playing off coverage corner or something that we saw week 1 through 7 last year? What is your thoughts on that? Because we can't stop Boyer from doing it. My thing is,
I'll say this. I said this, and there's still a side of me that when we decided to retain Josh Boyer, I said that the Dolphins did this as the Dolphins' power move from the front office. This was not a Mike McDaniel thing. I don't believe McDaniel in any way, shape, or form. If McDaniel had his way, he would have brought in his own defensive staff. That entire defensive staff, in my opinion, from the outside looking in, looks like it's all constructed of the former staff as well as former players. So what does that tell you? That tells you that looks like a front office power move, right? So I'll say this. If, let's say, our offense is putting up 27 to 30 points a game. Remember, we put up only 20 this past year. So if the offense is stepping up, we know that McDaniel's doing his job, correct? But if our defense is also giving up 25, 27, 30 points per game, I think you have to pull the plug on Boyer week 5, week 6, week 7. But then the question is, who then calls the defensive plays? Now, my hope is, this is my hope, that McDaniel has something up his sleeve in an emergency situation, if that comes to fruition. Do I know that? No. Do I think he's a smart guy that prepares for the not the inevitable? I don't want to say that, but prepares for all situations. Yes. So if it comes to that, my guess would be it wouldn't be a former defensive, like it wouldn't be somebody. Let's say they say, "Boyer, you're gone in week 7," because we started 2-5, right? I think what would end up happening is I'm gonna put you on mute real quick, Sharif, because I'm getting background noise. I think that what would happen is you would see a newer coach, somebody from McDaniel's staff, or a guy that McDaniel brought in, become the play caller. That would be my guess.
That's interesting because we didn't get nose to. What I'm noticing too is we're thinking package based on stopping the run, right? That means we brought Jenkins back. We believe in Christian Wilkins. We believe Raekwon at nose. So we didn't get a Jordan Davis, or we didn't get the kid Travis out of Kentucky. We're not thinking to get a big nose tackle. So for me, if I see, remember now, Flo is not here to take the playbook if they're playing 10 yards, giving the receivers all that space that Boyer gave them, right? So I would imagine that, like you said, McDaniel would step in, or even Greer may want to step in. But the thing is, there's no Gerald Alexander to run it like Flo, right? So my problem is, if we see this in week 1 and week 2 where you don't know how to run it like Flo, I don't know where we go from there, to be honest. And that's going to be disappointing. But I know the offense will be able to at least give us what Gailey gave us, which is 24 points a game. And that was the best we did in 20 years.
I'll say this. I'm going to bring in Todd here in a second. I'll say that I think the Dolphins, I don't think it'll come to that. My hope is that Boyer learned from his mistakes last year when I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, he was not calling the plays. I know what was said. I know what was done, but I'm also not stupid and have two eyes, and I know how good Flores is on the defensive side calling plays. So I'll say that in my opinion, let me preface that, I think Boyer lost play calling abilities last year, but I'll say that I think he'll not make those same mistakes this year.
Now, on our opinion, based on that, if we know that due to him playing soft, off, because a lot of people are saying McCourty was there, we had to get everybody mixed in and get them gelled. Xavier missed a game. Then we didn't have Holland back there. So I get all of that. What I'm saying is we have everyone there. We don't want, as fans, we're intelligent. We don't want to see that off press. We don't want to see that off coverage thing that Boyer was doing to get, as we assume again, to get the playbook taken away. I don't have time for that, Stephen. So do many fans.
Well, and you got to remember too, and Todd, I'll let you go after me. I'll say that, remember, this team for the last 3 years has started bad and ended good. The hope is that, I would say that a lot of us would agree that we started bad because the offense didn't quite gel the way it needed to in the opening games for this team the last 3 years. The hope is that McDaniel changes that. And so because of that, I think that, games that maybe we lost by a possession or two will now win by a possession or two because our offense just clicks better. Todd, let me bring you in, Todd. What's up, man?
Man, Panthers leading. I don't know any team that wants to play them in a series in the playoff with that offense.
Tampa, the Lightning are the only team.
Yeah.
That I don't want to say scare me, but look, you remember the Capitals?
Yeah.
Capitals could never beat Pittsburgh, right? They couldn't get over that hump before they won it all, and they finally got Pittsburgh's number. They finally got through Pittsburgh, They finally and they won it all that year. And so I'll say the same thing. The Panthers just cannot get past Tampa, and so I think there's a mental thing there. So as long as they can get past Tampa, I think they win it all.
And I think Vegas and Toronto is very good.
How dangerous are the Heat going to be if Oladipo's back like that?
Oh my God, dude! Like it's like getting an all-star in free agency or at the trade deadline, except you get him back for the playoffs.
He was amazing last night.
Yeah.
So then you got those two, and then in football we could have the best offense in football.
We could 100%.
We very easily could. You know, it's just I love seeing McDaniel over at Tua's little thing yesterday. The luau, yeah. Dude, that was awesome. You know you would never see Flores up there banging on the drums. Having fun.
They look good together, right? They look good together. It's
they have rapport.
They do. And that's something that, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of relationships that start out rocky and then become great. There's plenty of relationships that are really not even rocky. Sometimes they're just not there. They're not present. And then something happens and they do it. But you can already tell that McDaniel already is, at minimum, wanting his rapport and his relationship to be better with his quarterback than Gase was with Tannehill and Flores was with Tua. And that goes such a long way into helping the team grow.
But
and if we go back and say, okay, who's the last head coach that had a great rapport with his players for the Dolphins? And you got to go Tony Sparano. The players love Sparano. Now that didn't translate into wins for us, but
Dan Campbell.
Hey, hold up. They like Campbell. That's
Campbell
what I
was
was about to
an
say.
interim though. Was interim. He wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Hey, I had a picture of Dan Campbell like riding a shark as my background for my computer for like a year.
But no, it's not even just with Tua though. You can see him with all the players, how much they respect him, and how much they like him.
Hey, are you guys going to be covering the USFL at all this spring?
You know, it's so funny. So I was looking at that. Here's what I'll say. I every year, or I feel like the last 5 or 6 years, there's been these alternate football leagues that have tried to come out, and two things. Number one, I think the NFL was so smart to get rid of the USFL when they did, however many years ago, because and the USFL problem was, by the way, they moved from spring to try to go to a fall league. If they had stayed in the spring, they would have competed for the best players in all of football, and it legit would have been a problem for the NFL. That was the 80s, right? But the NFL from the mid 80s till now they're a multi-billion-dollar organization, multi-billion-dollar business. So there's two things a league needs to be successful. Number one, they cannot play at the same time as the NFL. That's one. If they do decide to do it, they would never be the primary league. They'd have to know that they are the feeder league for the NFL. I think in order for an alternative form of league to be successful, you have to play in the spring, and you have to come up with something new that the NFL doesn't do and make it better. And you have to have 1 or 2 stars that make people tune in and watch.
Because I'm banking on the XFL is what I'm banking on.
Well, I mean, look, I think
over
the Rock knows. The Rock knows what he's doing. 100%. And the XFL will be huge, by the way.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 24/7 all year round.
Yeah, the XFL will be big. And if the USFL is smart, what they'll do is they'll have this first year, they'll do good. They'll call up The Rock and say, let's take this and let's integrate our leagues together. That would be smart for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do have good names. They have, like, the name brand recognition is too. Like they got the Stars, they got the Stallions.
You talk about the Generals?
The Gamblers.
The Generals.
The Generals. Like, all these names are the big names from the 80s, you know?
Yeah, Jim Kelly, Doug Flutie, all
yep.
them, you know.
Yep.
So that's what it's going to take. So to answer your question, I will be watching this weekend because I want to see what it is. I'm interested. I'm a sports fan. I'll watch. But are you gonna get me to get like heavily involved? That's gonna take a lot. That's gonna be on them for me to do that.
I think you're gonna see next year is when it's gonna be big. Just like when the XFL starts next year.
Yeah.
And you got football all year round with no gap. Like that's gonna be big, I think.
Well, I think The Rock being this, running that league is what it needed. They needed some sort of star power to do it, right?
Yeah. He this guy Adam just said, is the CFL and XFL merger still in talks? I heard they were talking.
They were a year ago. It never came to fruition, and so The Rock knew he needed. So this is how good The Rock is from the standpoint of smart business IQ, right? He said, in order for me to grow this, I need to go with an established league. So I can either go. You got to remember, the CFL was in the U.S. before.
Mm-hmm.
There was a team called the Baltimore Stallions, right here in Baltimore, where I live at, and they won the CFL 95, 93, 92, something like that. In the early 90s, they won it. They won the Grey Cup, whatever it's called. And so he knows that Americans love football, and they want it year round. So he was in talks with the CFL. They never came to the merger. Like, it just never quite came to fruition. But then he started talking with the NFL, and he now has a partnership with the NFL. And basically what that is, from what I am aware of, is you will see people you will see them be able to test rules in the XFL. They'll be able to test, different types of balls. There'll be a million different things that they will test in the NFL to use in the NFL. And it'll also give players a chance that maybe weren't touted or highly looked at or sought after in college, another chance to play for something and get looked at by an NFL scout.
Yeah, I think they forced college to pay players, basically. Well, to be able to earn money.
I don't think the XFL or CFL did that. I think that's been coming for a very long time.
Well, I think it helped because the XFL said, hey, we're going to pay these guys out of high school to come in. They can come here instead of college. They can go.
They had that. There was one player for the Defenders, the Washington Defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot think of his name. But he was in the secondary, if I'm correct, and decided to skip college, wasn't eligible for the NFL, played 1 year of the XFL, and I think he's in the league now.
You remember the player that played for Arizona that came straight from high school? Swan?
In the NFL? No, I don't.
Yeah, Swan. Way back.
Yeah, I don't
Way back. He was a defensive tackle by the name of Swan.
Like, is this 80s, 90s?
Early 90s.
Yeah, see, now there's the rule, though. The rule now is you have to play 3 years or be 21, if I'm correct.
He came out, he was a giant, but did not play up to what they thought he was going to be.
You have to have played 3 years of college football and or be 21 years old or 20. I don't know if there's an age requirement if you don't go to school, but I do know that one guy was able to play last year in the XFL or the year before and then went to the league the following year. And it worked out for him from what I'm aware of.
What's weird about it is when you look at these leagues, you're not a fan of a team right away, right? And you're like, how do you pick? Some people go off their location. Some people go off of like what team's the best, like bandwagoners, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been watching and looking at the teams, and I'm like, okay, I like their logo, I like their color, but I don't know who's their player. I don't know. I'm like, who?
Well, I like what Omar
really
says. Omar says, would love to see Cam, Cap, and Johnny join the XFL.
That would bring fans.
If I'm correct, Johnny is in the XFL, isn't he? Johnny Manziel is
Johnny was playing in
Johnny's in the USFL. He's in the USFL.
And then he also played in that fan control league too.
Yes. Here is here's the thing for this weekend.
And
USFL, you got the Generals and the Stallions. That game will be on Fox and NBC on Saturday. The Houston Gamblers and the Panthers. I don't know who the Panthers are. the Stars, which I think are Philadelphia, maybe.
Is there a Florida team?
The Breakers, and then you got the Bandits and the Mall.
I'll give you.
Where the
I'll bet
Breakers
on
at?
one thing. I can bet on one thing. Greer is gonna scour that entire league, just like how he got a Guavin from that league. I think Greer may be scouring the middle linebacker to go along, maybe to challenge Reuben Foster in the tryouts.
Oh, by the way, you know one thing that the USFL is going to use? They don't have a whatchamacallit. They don't have a chip, or they don't have a what the guys help me out. Chain gang.
Oh, the chain gang?
They don't have what why can I
They don't have field markers.
Field markers. They have chips inside the ball.
Wow.
Digital chips. That's something.
That's going to get me to watch.
This is a game, I guess, last night, preseason game.
Really cool. Yeah, I watched this. And if you look in the fans, all you're going to see in the fans is players from the other teams because they're in a bubble. They're all living in that town. They only play in that stadium, the whole league. So they don't play in their own cities, right?
Are they playing in a bubble?
Well, they're not in a bubble. They
Okay.
can't afford to be in multiple stadiums.
Oh, for the preseason.
No, for the regular, they're all going to be playing in Birmingham, Alabama.
All the games.
All the games will be in that stadium.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So if they show the scene, you'll see them get a punt blocked, right? And you're going to see the other teams' players in the stands, and they're heckling the other teams, and they're the only people in the stands is the other teams.
That's crazy. So the players are also going to have cameras, which I think are dope.
Okay. And they all live in the same building too. If they're not local. So these players from other teams are interacting. They're building good relationships, bad relationships, and you're going to see all that come out on the field, I think.
See, if they were smart, they do like a Big Brother show for this. Yeah. That's dope. Now, if you guys remember the XFL, however many years ago, the Sky Cam and the camera person going into the huddle came from the XFL. Those two things came from the XFL. So it'll be very interesting to see. Adam E says you can buy tickets to go to the games there, though. Good thing they're going to have a chip. You know, it's funny. Tennis uses that chip technology. And so I think that it'll be interesting because if the goal is to be as accurate as possible with ball placement in the NFL, I think you'll see that in the next year or two in the NFL.
I'm still here. I'm just off camera.
You're good. I know what you're doing. You're good.
Yeah, man. So I was just looking at the roster once. I think moving to hockey a little bit. I think have you heard anything about Bobrovsky, and should he be back for the first round, or because this kid Knight, he allows he allows goals, right? So we have to come from behind and win most of the time lately. But I would like to know when Bobrovsky is going to come back. And how about the coach moving Huberdor to forward? Because when we brought him in, he was a center. And the moves that the Panthers have made, man.
The Panthers are the most exciting team in hockey in the last.
Barkov, I think he's better than Olli Jokinen, and I think he's better than Pavel Bure. Right now, no. Well, Pavel is on another level, but Barkov is reaching that Pavel Bure level. If you're a dedicated Panther fan.
Barkov is underrated. One of the better players in hockey this year.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
You know, Barkov is just a beast in there. Seems like every game he's getting a point.
Does hockey do the draft where they pull numbers out for the draft, like NBA?
No. A lottery?
Yeah.
No. And by the way, the NBA should get rid of that too.
And you heard, hey, Bam is in protocol now.
What do you mean?
He's in safety protocol for the NBA. In other words, he has to be out 5 days with the COVID situation.
Who is?
Bam.
Bam is? No,
Yep.
What?
Yep, Bam's in protocol.
They still do that?
Yeah, that's at least 7 days.
No,
Maybe.
5 days, they said. At
Yeah,
least
but
5
they're
days.
gonna.
So he'll miss the first game.
No, they said he should be back in time. Because remember, they still have the play-in games, and they're giving him a break.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think we'll have the protocol next year for football?
No, I don't.
I hope not.
Well, I don't.
I think I think guys will still get tested, and they will go into a protocol.
No,
maybe
I don't
later.
think there'll be any testing next year for the NFL. I'm just going off
But-
the NFL.
But you know what? Normally, I'd be worried. But the Heat seem to play good no matter who's in the game and who's not. That's how they've been all year. Bam missed how long?
That's why they're the best team. That's what I mean. Look, I know they're not Phoenix, but
Hey, out of all the teams in the NBA, they've missed their stars more than any other team. You know, you look at Bam was out a month and a half. Jimmy was out a month. And they're still first place in the East.
yeah, I know they're legit.
And you got to remember, they beat top teams this year. They've beaten Phoenix once. They beat. It doesn't matter who's in front of them. They can beat them. Don't want to play them in a 7-game series with that depth.
Hey, let me bring in Crypto in the back room here. What's up, Crypto?
Oh, I need crypto.
What's up, Crypto?
I was trying to buy some Dogecoin.
Stay away from it.
Really? I had my wife convinced to put money into it. I was like, let me wait for this dude to get it on Steven's channel, and then I'm going to ask him.
Guys, take
won't
it.
touch it. It's a meme coin.
Go Marlins. Go
I would say
Panthers.
stick
Go
to the granddaddy
Dolphins.
of them all, Bitcoin. Try to become a 1%er. You know, if you had at least over $100 worth of Bitcoin, you're in the top 10 percentile of Bitcoin owners global.
Really?
Yes.
Time out. Say that one more time.
If you have at least over $100 in Bitcoin, you own at least over 10%. You're in the top 10% of holders worldwide of any Bitcoin.
And that is because the fees to use the Bitcoin is still extremely high.
No,
There's
that's a
Bitcoin
lie.
ATMs in my gas station. by my
No,
house.
that's at gas stations, but you buy them off of exchange. It's not. It's very low. You mix in Ethereum with Bitcoin. That's totally different.
Well, from what I found, moving it from my blockchain wallet to, let's say, an independent wallet, the fees can vary, and the blockchain will let you know if you want to go through with this. It's going to be $7 to $12. Now you can wait until tonight when the transactions traction goes down,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I think that's one of the main reasons why holding Bitcoin, people will just not hold it anymore and put it into other things and invest it in so it can work.
So you're telling me if I own $100 of Bitcoin right now, I'm in the top 1%?
No, not 1%. You're in the top 10% of holders globally because it's only 21 millions that can ever be minted anyways. That's a finite number. And it's only like the estimates is only like 13 million that's been purchased since it's been minted from the very first mint.
Don't you just like so? I don't
There's
know.
only like 3 million left to be minted for the rest of history.
Hey, Steven, you know what you need to do? You need to have a thing on here where you one day all your donations just go into you putting in the Bitcoin for your channel.
Hey, Crypto.
That's what I was trying to tell them. Yeah.
Crypto, you're supposed to hook that up for me.
Crypto. I put 50 in last week, and I'm doing 50 again this week for Bitcoin.
There you go, Todd. Congratulations. You just became a part of an elite group globally of Bitcoin holders.
Lately I've been making about 900 a week.
Hey, let's make Miami fans the richest fans in the world.
If I hit that number, I'm dropping 50 that week. Every week that I make that.
Think about this number and the scarcity of about the 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be minted.
There's only 59 million millionaires in the world. Think about that.
There's only what?
59 million millionaires globally. Then think about it. That's not enough Bitcoin in the world for each millionaire just to hold one. Now, there's a lot of people that own multiple Bitcoins now. Think about the scarcity now. Now, if all those millionaires decide that they just want to get a piece of it, that means that the price is going to skyrocket even more because there's not that many left to be held.
So how much is a Bitcoin?
Oh, right now it's only like $43,000 per coin.
Only 43,000.
No,
I sell my house. I can get 3.
Right now, Bitcoin's at 40,000.
So let
you go.
me just try to give
Just
a little.
think about it.
Because
if there was a gold rush, towards people buying coin, that's cheap compared to what it would be once everybody starts to come in. Once you have full adoption.
Crypto, I know you I understand you, right? And I don't know if Steven and our brother here is hard.
Hey, real quick, I just want to interrupt. I just bought $113 worth of Bitcoin through Robinhood.
Just now?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been trying Robinhood. I can't get it to work.
There you go. Congratulations, Steven. You got .0224 or something like that, or 250025.
So is Robinhood a good app?
I use it.
They let you hold it now. Robinhood has changed now, where you can actually transfer your Bitcoin out to a private wallet, and you can use your own. You can get your own custody now.
Guys,
you
in
can
the
buy
comments,
it through Cash App. You can buy it through Cash App.
yeah.
That's true.
So-
You can buy through Cash App too now.
That's
For
how
the
I do
people-
it.
For the people in the comments, they may be a little dumbfounded. So, for my experience with Bitcoin is, I can send it just like how you send minutes to somebody, or just like how you would send something via a Cash App. That's just how Bitcoin works. Only thing that it is peer to peer, meaning I don't have to have cash money, and it is verified through computation, which is neither here nor there. But you get to send money Saturday night, Sunday night when the banks are closed. You can send over $10,000 without clearing house or without your country clearing the money within 5 days. This also, if you want your money to work for you, your bank gives you less than 0.9% a year in a savings account. With Bitcoin, you could make upwards of 100,000 APY a year. So your dollar is now turned into a crypto, and it is working for you ferociously, as opposed to your dollar in your wallet, in your back pocket. That's not working for you, not giving you accurate returns or on your investment. So with Bitcoin or with cryptocurrency, for instance, I am going to a Dolphin game because Dolphins accept Litecoin. And the reason why I can actually go to a Dolphin games would cost hundreds of dollars thousands of dollars is because of crypto. So this is where you will get a lot more millionaires coming through crypto, simply because the decentralized finance is not like the banks, which is centralized. So decentralized finance and cryptocurrency gives you the opportunity to get generational wealth.
Hey,
So
crypto,
people in the comments.
I put my number back. I put my number backstage. I would like to talk to you one of these days off air about it.
Okay, I'll save it in my phone. All right, I'll definitely get it.
And
Crypto,
if y'all want to donate, crypto doesn't have a channel. He should.
I'm thinking about getting one, like doing a Sunday evening thing, talking about crypto and onboarding off ramps, on ramps to getting people from the traditional finance into the cryptocurrency space.
Cool.
It goes from hardware wallets, software wallets, everything, security,
Because
all that stuff, all the good stuff.
I'll be honest with you. I don't do a savings account because there's nothing to be made in a savings account.
Exactly, and that what Sharif was saying is, in the decentralized finance, when it's crypto, you get what they call staking awards by participating in the network, and you will get more coins airdropped or either sent to you just for participation in the networks.
Right. Like right now, I am holding what they call a buy swap. That's a coin on the Binance Smart Chain. And for me holding that for about a month, it's now at $1.20. I think it's at $1.42. When I bought it,
if we're talking about money and crypto, you guys can donate to the channel right now. And
hey, will you invest all money donated?
You know what? Right now, I will. If you donate right now, I'll invest all money into Bitcoin. Any
there you go.
Donated right
That's
now,
a smart move, Steven.
I'll put it into Bitcoin. But you got to donate for the next 5 minutes.
You know the
donated $5.
You know, Big O always talks about crypto too with the Bitcoin.
Yeah, he just got started like a couple of years ago. Yeah,
and
Dogecoin was good because I see Elon Musk talking about it all the time.
Well,
he does, but he's putting billions, hundreds of millions into it at a lower price. He bought it at a much lower price than what you see it at now. So he has interest to pump it up now.
Yeah, I like Dogecoin, by the way.
Yeah.
So what is also good about crypto is not just Bitcoin, right? And I'm not saying there'll be something worth more than Bitcoin, but other chains. So they have, like Crypto said earlier, Ethereum has like a $47 on average fee just for you to move Ethereum.
Just to move it, yes. And they're moving to proof of work. So from proof of work to proof of stake, so they can bring those fees down. They're gonna have I think it's 70-some days. They'll be changing to the Casper fork, where they're going to be upgrading to proof of stake.
Look, Green Rat says he's not donating about the because we're talking about a bad topic. He wants us to change the topic. He won't donate.
All right. So the thing with Ethereum, though, crypto is you see the problem with central banks is it's run by Vatican and whoever is cool with Vatican, right? The problem with Ethereum is Vitalik and his boys can change protocol. And guess who can't change their minds? Us who's holding it. So that's the problem with Ethereum right now. They have people who kind of own the protocol, they own. So crypto is supposed to be ownerless, right? That's the purpose of crypto. And if you have those people holding protocols and making sure, that they are set up right.
For every person that doesn't donate, you have to donate $1 for each person. So that's $82.
Yes, Epps, once you do that, this is beyond Wall Street, Epps. This is the revolution of Wall Street.
The revolution will be televised.
Hey, they should have a dolphin coin, like Bitcoin thing. For the Dolphins.
Hey, you know what? I was thinking. I was funny you said that because I was studying blockchain code, and I was going on the Solana blockchain where you can create different coins on their blockchain. So I actually thought about just fooling around and creating a dolphin coin.
Have you guys seen Miami Coin? They have a Miami Coin is already out.
Yeah, they do. The city is using it.
The city,
as a thing. Yeah.
And guess what? You get tokenomics by just holding that.
But it doesn't have the dolphin logo. That's what I want.
Yeah, he wants the dolphin logo.
You need to put the
I might have to take you up on that one, man. The dolphin coin, man, because they made it so easy now where you can just get the code and just copy it into the blockchain and then create your own coin.
I can make a coin with my logo in the back of me here.
Yeah.
What? I gotta do it.
Yeah, you can. You can use the logo. Yep. Yeah.
And as for creating it,
it'll start out as a meme dolphin coin like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, but it'll have some use, so you can use it only at dolphin games.
Okay.
That'll be nice.
That would be
now, Steven, I was going to tell you that this morning, about the Cash and Cash App and all the other ones. Here, think about this thing,
Green Rat
Steven.
said it was going to be $100 thanks to your panel.
Thanks to your panel.
Thank your panel. It was going to be 100. He said he's not doing it.
Oh well, still, I saved him money.
He's going to double it.
You hurt my pocket.
He's going to double it, Steven.
Hey, to get back on subject.
He's going to get you one whole Bitcoin.
What are the odds we sign Foster? Bring him in at linebacker.
He wants to be here. Wants to be here.
Foster.
I say
go get that 49. Lewis brought up a good point. about going to get that 49er linebacker. Screw Debo and get the 49ers linebacker. Bring him in for those.
No. What about the linebacker that's having contract disputes up in Minnesota?
That one, or
What was his name?
You could try to go get one of them too.
Kendricks.
I think. Yeah, Lewis brought up a good point.
I want to say it's Eric Kendricks, the middle linebacker for Minnesota.
Yes.
Didn't you guys see the video with Reuben Foster doing the drills? He did the same drills that they did in the combine, and he actually crushed them. But I want Greer to scour the USL wire to see if any overachieving linebackers maybe come out of the USFL. Guys, Aguavin had 4 sacks.
Don't make me go get my Sammy Guavin jersey.
Yeah, but you know what though?
Aguavin took over the Jacksonville game with 4 sacks. Remember, he came out of the USFL, so I want Greer to do his job.
I understand that he came out of there, but I want a linebacker who's proven in the NFL right now at middle linebacker.
Ruben?
Well, if that's the case, then we don't want any rookie like Ariza.
No, I'm saying at middle linebacker right now because our defense is so set. I want somebody who can call the plays at middle linebacker right now.
You got Miles Jack, or did Miles Jack sign with a team?
Yeah, but he's another undersized linebacker. He's more of a weak side linebacker. I'm in Jacksonville. He's a weak side linebacker. I want a middle.
Hey, I'm in Jacksonville too, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Where at?
Near River City Marketplace.
Oh shit! I'm on the west side.
Hey, swear jar.
Hey,
right.
Steven, I can get people to cuss at me all day if you need it.
Well, nobody. First of all, I asked people to donate, and it would go to Bitcoin, and nobody donated. And then Green Rat said he was going to donate $100, and he said, "Thank you."
I changed the. Hey, I did change. I changed the subject.
I got people cussing, and nobody's donating. You know what? I can't with you.
Hey.
What's up,
I changed the subject so people would start donating.
You did.
Yeah, and I can draw curse words out, so then they have to donate.
But they have to. They still have to do it though.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What's up, Luis?
Hey, what up, Steven? What up, fellas? Everybody on the panel, what's up?
How are you?
Hey, what's up? I was just talking about what you said about the linebacker in San Fran.
You're bringing up a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
Come on, man. Come on.
Boo.
Hey, I was gonna come on here and give y'all great energy for y'all.
The panel's messing me up this morning. That's what it is.
Hey, I was just about to give y'all some credit until y'all get to the Eastern Conference Finals, until you see us, and then it's a wrap. But we still love y'all, man. It's all right.
Hey, that's all right. We did put up 9 goals on you in a game this year, but it's okay.
Hey, we talking about play. Are you still talking about regular season? Because I'm in the playoff mode now.
Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the playoffs like forever.
Yeah, we in playoff mode. But no, hey, I wanted to come up here real quick just to ask everybody, did y'all see Crypto last night? Because Crypto was giving them work last night, boy.
What was he doing?
My boy Crypto was on the Fins tailgate last night giving them work. 60-40. That's all I got to say, 60-40.
That's right.
I was not on. I did not hear.
I did not either.
But if Crypto was giving somebody the business, I believe it happened.
Are we talking?
Basically, Crypto was just saying, and I kind of agree with. He thinks that our offense, everybody's just thinking about McDaniel coming in and implementing the running game, which I do agree with. But to Crypto's point, he's saying it's going to be 60% pass, 40% run, and I kind of agree with that. I think the pass is going to set up our running game.
That's what I was going to say. I do think the pass will set up the running game because it's going to draw the defense back and let our running backs have easier lanes.
Absolutely.
So you have to drop 2 high safeties because of the speed we have on the outside, and that's going to leave nobody in the box.
Right, and if they got good linebackers.
When I
Right,
study this
Todd.
offense and I look at the videotape of the fullback, right? I would love to see the fullback shift, the I formation, the strong weak side formation with the fullback, right? And what McDaniel does is if someone motions to the left or to the right, or if he motions that fullback, that right there gets the defense to move a little bit. And then what ends up happening is while they're adjusting, we're snapping. Most of the time, that's what you see Garoppolo do. And the play is executed because the defense is still strafing to adjust to a motion. And what I find interesting is if they try to adjust, sometimes we're gonna go the opposite way. That means they're gonna stretch all right, and we're actually just baiting you, and that cuts the field in half for a sprinting Waddle or a sprinting Edmonds to the opposite side of the field. So I love how McDaniel cuts the field in half for the offense and gives our ball handler maybe 4-6 guys to get rid of, and then you can go to the house. That's how they go to the house. You know, the ball handler has like 4 or 5 guys after that. You know, he touchdown.
You know, watching McDaniel at the luau also brought up something else. The man is extremely confident. He's able to go there, let loose, have fun. Normally, a rookie coach, he wouldn't even be at the event. He'd be too worried about everything going on in his first season. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. The man has a plan. He knows what he's doing, and he's sitting back and he's enjoying it.
And Todd, relax. The guy might have had a bear or two. Oh, he's a victim of.
No, I'm not saying a bad thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. He's out there. I'm saying he has a plan and he's confident with it, and I like that.
Right. And he feels
he might have had a bear or two. Come on, for him screaming and hitting the drum like that, you don't think you need a bear or two in the system?
Look, hey, like I said, I love the fact that he was doing that because it's just he's loose. He's not all uptight.
Yeah, and see, they're taking it as, oh, he cannot fool with alcohol anymore. He just recovered, dude, just calm down.
By the way, Green Rat just donated $1 of his $100, so 99 more to go. Green Rat, 99 more to go.
You know, and hey, by the way, speaking of recovery, everybody in here say a prayer for a friend of mine. She just went into rehab.
She's got my support.
Yeah, she
got mixed up. She got mixed up with the pills and alcohol, and I talked to her mom the other day. They had trouble waking her up, and me and her had a talk, and she's going into rehab today.
May I ask what kind of pills?
Pain pills, anything she can get her hands on, from what I understand.
Okay,
and look, if you have a problem, let me just throw this out there. If you have a problem, you can talk to me. You can reach out to me. I'm on social media. Hit me up. Seriously.
She's 27 years old, and she's battling it out. I used to work with her way back in the day. And
I don't want to say too much, Todd, but I'm a holistic health coach. I've dealt with people who became addicted to a recommended pill. And all I can say is legal actions. So if you want to talk about that more offline.
Well, see, I had my battle. I'll be honest. I had my battle with pills back in the day when I had shoulder surgery. I had a doctor who would prescribe me 100 Vicodin every time I'd go to the office.
Right.
So,
and so I don't want to say too much, but
that was back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, look what happened to OJ McDuffie. Hey, take this. Go back in the game.
Now, if I have a bad,
OJ McDuffie had an issue.
Yeah, man. He listened to people and he messed up his toe forever, man. He was never the same.
Now, unless I have a super bad headache, I won't even touch the Tylenol. Okay, so
yeah, yep.
Okay. All right, hey, let's see here. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show. Clap Blockers. I'm your host Stephen D. I got the Fins fan. I got the Finlaws up here on the panel. Road, Sharif, Louise, Crypto, Todd. What do y'all think? I'm just interested to know. Somebody's got a lot of noise in the background. I'm going to put them on mute. I don't know who that is.
That's probably me.
Somebody's in reverse.
Yeah.
And Steven, we all purpose in the building. Hockey up in here.
I know.
We got baseball, the Heat. We all purpose.
I know. We got a little bit of everything up here. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know what y'all thoughts are for the draft. Where do y'all think we are? Where do y'all want to go in the third round?
I say try to get the best linebacker available.
I'll bring up what I said. I was on the Fins, another panel last night, and I brought up, instead of looking for a linebacker in like the third or fourth round, what are your guys' opinion? There's a linebacker named Eric Hendricks in Minnesota, middle linebacker. I'm hearing he's having like contract disputes with Minnesota.
I brought that up.
We could probably offer Minnesota like a third or fourth round this year and see if we could bring Eric Hendricks, because the way the team is getting built, man, we're getting built to win now. So to bring in a third round or fourth round linebacker, probably have to develop them a little bit. I would rather get someone established. So what are you guys' thoughts on like an Eric Hendricks?
Well, I would say
I agree.
Fans, look at that view as being selfish, because we have to win this year. So that's it's good for you, brother, to be selfish and complete this defense. And I don't know the situation with the kid, but I would say we need to be selfish, because this is the year, guys. So we should want anyone from who we think we need from other teams, whether it is giving up the third round but who I think we will go with in the third round. If Troy Anderson falls, I get him. If Sky Moore falls, the wide receiver, this kid breaks tackle like a freaking train. He's a little kid. He breaks tackles.
I know Sky Moore,
if Sky Moore falls, or Troy Anderson, middle linebacker, falls for me.
Yeah, but I also can't leave out
I
Cook.
agree.
You can't leave out Cook.
Yes, Cooks, yeah.
Yeah, because if James Cook is there at 3 in the third round, or where we pick,
I don't think he falls.
I would rather take James Cook.
Because you got to remember,
he might not make it that long.
We're talking about Mozart. Mozart just turned 30 years old. I think it was yesterday. You still want to bring in another running back under him.
That's middle age, but we got
another thing, guys, right? Steven, especially you. I've been hearing all through the Dolphin airways, get another running back. Guys, do you realize we have Gaskin, we have Ahmed, we have Edmonds, and we have Mostert. Guess what?
It's fun to think about James Cook. It's fun to think about James Cook, but there's no way
Dokes isn't cut yet, and we still have Scarlett, the running back. That's 6. Who the hell else you want, man?
Yeah,
you guys got to relax.
It's kind of full.
but when we look at it, but that's the same argument that we could say about Debo Samuel. Everybody wants Debo, but the wide receiver room is full. So when
what's funny about that, Luis? I was somebody had posted that last night and on Twitter this weekend that let's say Debo were to, like, you got to remember a couple of things. Number one, wide receivers are divas. They are. God love them. You need them. But if you had Jalen, Tyreek, and Debo, somebody's not going to get the ball. Probably
and don't forget
people.
Don't forget about Cedric Wilson.
I feel like that is a locker room upset waiting to happen. Like
no, but you got to remember, the one difference with Debo, there's one big difference, and that's that if we don't draft a running back, he could take carries out the backfield, and he did that with San Francisco very well.
That's true, and that's all the more.
But once again, he would have to be spelling the 6th running back on this team. Let's say Doak stayed to the practice squad and Scarlett stays to the practice squad. You still got Ahmed, Gaskin, Edmonds, and Mozart. Who you going to jump in? You don't want to upset running back room because a receiver is taking his carries.
I think he's going to make the final roster.
Right.
But with the way he knows McDaniel, he'd be 1A and 1B with the starter.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. He would jump over Ahmed. He would jump over Gaskin. He would probably even jump over like Mostert.
You talking about Debo?
Yeah. It would probably be. It would probably be.
Okay.
It would probably be.
Okay. I spoke with Omar on Twitter. I spoke with Omar on Twitter about it. Do you know what we would have to do to get a Debo in, we would have to, at the end of it, we would have to give him $31 million, which is $1 million more than Tyreek, right? That's per year.
He's not trying to break.
That's not going to happen.
Secondly,
We're not
we
giving
would have to
$31
give up,
million.
we would have to give up our future next year to even make that move, which is at least a first and a third or something of that nature. No.
Well, here's the thing.
We have
Listen
to
to
give
this.
him 31 million, which is
I
more
think
than Tyreek.
I think he's
You
gonna,
have
I
to
think
sign
he's
and
going to be
trade
a
for him.
Dolphin. I
What
think he's
the
going to
hell
be
are
a
you
Dolphin, but
wanting?
I don't think he's going to be a Dolphin until free agency.
Exactly.
Right.
What the hell, guys? I heard the same thing 3 years ago with Reason. Let's get and these other shows. Let's get Juju. Let's get dude. Don't you have enough with Cedric Wilson?
Well, we needed it 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right.
Now
Yeah,
we don't.
exactly.
Well,
Now
we definitely need it.
Hey, do y'all know one thing though? Debo's only 24 years old.
And look,
So,
all right, two
by
things.
the-
Yeah,
Hold
he's
on,
fairly
guys.
young.
Hold on. Two things. Number one, I got Miami Polk Fins in the back room. I want to bring them on here in a second. But what I want to say is the Debo conversation is fun to talk about, but logistically, you
Right.
have to fit him in, and I don't think that there is a way to fit him in currently into this
And
offense.
we're not going 30 million over the cap.
I'm not even going in cap because again, you know how I feel about that. I think
Because you have to sign and trade, Steven.
It's a myth. It's a myth.
I think it's a myth, my personal opinion. But
Why do these fans
hold
want
on,
so
I'm
much?
not finished. Unless there's a conversation which can happen, by the way, where McDaniel sits all these guys down and said, "Hey, look, I'm going to go after Debo, but if I do, I don't want to hear a conversation in the middle of the year about why I'm not getting the ball."
Exactly.
Because that, if, and it's a huge if we were to go after him, I want McDaniel to have that conversation with those guys, Cedric, Tyreek, and Jalen. Hey, look, if I go get Debo, I don't want to hear anybody upset about not getting touches.
You know who I don't think would
be. This is going to be an offense that is going to be equally. Everybody's going to touch the ball, but you guys aren't going to see the numbers that you're used to seeing because that we're going after a championship.
Hey, the one person I think would not have an issue with it, and he's used to it, is a Waddle. Look what he had in Alabama with everybody. He's used to the ball being spread around. He just makes the most of it when he gets it.
Miami Polk Fins.
Right, you got to maximize your stuff. Yeah.
Hey, Steven, I got to bow out.
All right, Roach. Love you, brother.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, take care, guys.
Roach.
Hey, Roach,
Steven,
you need to donate
Steven.
$1 for everybody who didn't donate, Roach. That's $87.
Hey,
right,
Steven.
Roach, be good, bro.
Hey, Steven, I got to punch in. Put me backstage. I'll be hanging around.
All right, man. Sounds good. All right, let me bring in Miami Polk Fins and Pete. What's up, gentlemen?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, man.
What up, Paul?
How's everybody doing?
Pretty good, Miami Polk Fins. How are you?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
I'm happy to tune in with you.
We're forgetting one person that I think is the black horse that's on our team, and that's Lynn Bowden.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
If he's healthy.
And he's healthy. He's working out with Tua. And I'm gonna tell you something else now. I'm gonna say this. I watched Lynn Bowden when he was at University of Kentucky. Lynn Bowden played quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and he did. Now he's not a bona fide quarterback, but he did play that position a little bit. So we're forgetting that dark horse right there, and he's healthy and he's been working out with Tua. So we need to keep that in mind also, along with the other weapons that we have.
100%.
I totally agree.
At the beginning of this offseason, you heard from McDaniel as well as Greer. And one of the things that I think gets lost in, let's go out and get this person. Let's go out and get this person. Both of those guys said, we are going to take people that are currently on this roster and coach them up better.
Exactly.
And part of an injury plagued players is making sure that they are exercising right, that they're doing the right thing, so that it's part of the coaching, right? And so I think that you will see players like Lynn Bowden, whatever you want to say, be better because they're going to be able to get
And
that.
one thing I want to add to that, Stephen, is if you look at Bowden, right, and you look at Igbenogany, right,
Yep.
and you look at where their depth chart is, the job that they don't have to win no more, right? Justin Coleman had that position. Igbenogany couldn't take it. Now Igbenogany is in the number 4 spot behind Needham. He's there already. Nobody's fighting really behind him. And my thing is with Bowden, nobody's fighting behind him. So he's not trying to take Cedric Wilson's job, and Cedric Wilson is cool with having Bowden behind him. What my thing is, now we get to see the snaps that Igbenogany needs and Bowden the snaps that he needs. But no, let's get the receiver from Seattle. Let's get the receiver from San Francisco. Really, guys? You sound greedy.
I agree with you on that, Sharif, 100%. And then also I want to add on something else that you just said, Stephen D, and that is that when McDaniels did his first conference, the first thing he said is that we're going to evaluate, and this is added to what you just said, we're going to evaluate each player that's on the roster to see what their potential are and how they can, if they can or cannot fit into this team. That was the first thing he said in his first press conference.
Look, I go back and say that we have not seen. I think in training camp and in preseason, we're going to be able to see what these guys have been talking about. I'm really interested to see, the guys on the depth chart that have been kind of stuck at the bottom, and are they better than what they were? Because if they're better than what they were, you have to think that the offensive starter, like the starters, are going to be better too. Mm-hmm. So, I'm interested to see the guys that we may not see on an everyday basis that might be stuck on the practice squad play those 3rd and 4th string downs in the preseason games. Because if they're ultimately better, you kind of have to put 2 and 2 together that, okay, these starters are going to be better too. Mm-hmm. Pete, what's up, Pete?
Nothing much. I'm just thinking about this Lynn Bowden talk, and I got something after this, but like when I'm looking at the wide receiver depth chart, I don't see room for him. Like I know what he brings as the player, but he's also a limited wide receiver, if you ask me, because he can't play the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So he's limited to the inside, and we already have Waddle, we have Cedric Wilson.
Pete, I think you bring up a good point. Let me make the argument to you real quick, though, to saying he doesn't have to be that. He can be a specialty wide receiver now. You know what I'm saying? Because there is so much talent in that locker room that he would fit right in. That there's nothing to rely on him for except his specialty at that point, right?
Well, what is his specialty?
I mean, look, I think
he can kick and punt return, Pete.
Yeah, I think he can kick and punt return, and I think he's a good fourth option as a wide receiver. When you have trip sets or 2 and 2, he's that good 5th option on the field. And the funny part is now you're going to have the 4th or 5th best, and I put that in quotations, defensive back or defensive player. Now he has a linebacker on him. When has Lynn Bowden in his career really had a linebacker on him? An outside linebacker, the 3rd or 4th best, CB on the team. Same thing for Preston Williams.
Good point.
Oh my gosh, guys, that is what I wanted to. So Preston is the 5th receiver, right? I would assume he's behind Bowden, right? So when we talk about balls to give out, Deebo Samuel and the kid from Seattle, DK Metcalf. I would like, now that Atlanta is shelling off players, I would like to see us go for the middle linebacker for Atlanta, Deion Jones. Am I correct? But
a linebacker.
Let's go for Deion Jones to let them sell off. We want him. I know the kid from Minnesota, the guys mentioned earlier, but let's look in the direction to replace a Landon. I could see that, But like, because Atlanta is selling. Who else is selling, Steven? We got a couple of teams. Seattle is selling. Atlanta is selling. I
Well,
think.
To your point, the other thing that I think that people aren't talking about is when training camp comes to an end or preseason comes to an end, who's going to get cut?
Mm-hmm.
Like the teams that are selling are fine, and I think we'll see that. Here's what I'll tell you. So there are so many teams in the AFC right now that are good, right? I think the one fun thing I love about baseball and hockey is at the trade and basketball is at the trade deadline you see trades. You don't see that in football. I think this year you'll see some really good trade deadline trades in football because there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be like, there's no way that we're going to compete. Let's get something for this guy now. Let's just, whatever. And if I have a chance to upgrade at linebacker or any position for that matter, I think you will see, if I had an over-under of trade deadline trades within, a day or two, within 24 hours of it or 48 hours of it, I think you'll see 3 or 4 big-time trades at the trade deadline this year for the NFL.
I agree. And to me, the glaring spot that we need to work on, to me, is like I said, inside linebacker and maybe a backup center. I could be wrong, but that's my concern for the Miami Dolphins is those two positions right there.
For me, backup center, I look at Donovan West, Jurgens. I forgot the other kid's name, but when I heard Greer at the latest press conference say that 3 teams are interested in Dieter, I'm not worried about Dieter. I really look. He struggled against playing tackle against Dallas a couple of years ago. Dieter was hurt the year after that. Dieter is ready to play center. Hey, and this is also gonna this is a shot at Flo. If they bring the best out of Dieter and the right side of that line, because we know now the left side is secure with Williams and Armstead. Then that would say a lot about Flo's lack of coaching up that offensive line, because Dieter, to me, is fine. If Donovan is there, Donovan West is there, Jurgens is there at the 3rd round, I still would. I agree with you.
Hey, Sharif, so it sounds like everybody's fine on that offensive line, right? So based on last year's 32nd worst offensive line in the history of histories in offensive line.
That's a lot of histories, Pete.
Yeah, I'm saying we are every year, because you got to say it 3 times. It's been 3 years bad offensive line. So, so it was only one player that made that offensive line terrible, Sharif. So Jesse Davis, we got rid of him. Now we're all good now, right? Everything is good.
I think it's going to be a shot. I think if the offensive coach from San Diego and the staff they brought in to coach that line, that would be a big shot at Flo, not knowing how to bring those rookies in and coach them up. It will be a big shot at, because if that right side does even average, we're going to run the freaking ball down your throat. It will be a big shot at Flo by week 7 if we're running the ball down people's throats. Now, yeah, I think so,
People
because
say you don't need to run the ball. You don't need to run the ball. We're just gonna be pass, guys.
Level 2 noob, don't go. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for Steven, who does I would say so far, right? If Tua gives you his greatest potential or his ceiling, do you see Steve Young or do you see who?
All right,
So
I appreciate
I'm glad
your
you went
question.
to Tua.
I appreciate your question. But what I'll say is I don't like playing that game. And here's why. Because I think when you start comparing players to other players, there's so much that gets lost in translation. People want to argue. People want to not see what it is. What I'll say is I think Tua can be his own quarterback that can be great. And I know that's I don't know if that's self-serving, but let's call Tua for what he is. And I think this year we'll get to know truly what that is.
Hey, Steven, and I know there's a lot of Tua hate, and a lot of Tua debate. But check this out and listen to me up clearly. Everybody on the panel and on the chat as well, so they don't think you know everything. Listen clearly. If we run the same offense we've been running with Tua for the last 2 seasons, and this season he plays a full season, and he looks spectacular, who's the genius? Who do we give credit to? Because I'm hearing, you know what? I'm gonna tell you what it is, Steven.
I give
Thank
credit
you,
to Tua.
Sharif. Because I'm hearing too much of this McGenius this, McGenius that, right? And you guys know I'm talking about McDaniel, the coach. And they're not really putting in Tua in any of that conversation. So when I'm looking at that, I'm already looking at it as he better be the reason why Tua plays a different formation. We better see Tua in strong formations, I formations, all type of different formations. But if we see the same offensive schemes we saw last year, but just the players around,
We're not going to, Pete, because you can already tell by the personnel acquisitions that we made that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it's going to be I formation, weak, strong with the fullback, either strong, weak side or strong side, or I formation. That's what it's going to be now.
Bonjo, just jump in. Stop raising your hand.
Tua is already practiced. Tua is already practiced faking.
He think this is Twitter. He think this Twitter chat.
Hey,
Bonjo literally just did the Twitter space emoji to get in.
Hey, Bonjo think he's on a horse shack on Welcome Back Carter.
Hey man, listen. I like to say first off, I'd like to say good morning to everyone.
Hey,
Bonjo.
Good morning, Bonjo. Jeez.
Good morning, clanging and banging.
As you can see, I'm in the office. I don't really get a chance to clang and bang on Mondays. Got to start work early. But yo. So I was based off what Sharif just asked. Oh no, it was Pete actually. I mean, does Tua run a lot of under the center or even in college? Because I felt like he was mainly in the shotgun.
Well, I mean, Alabama.
RPO
that's what
pistol.
Alabama ran. Alabama.
That's what I was getting to.
You know?
If you look at the split formations with the fullback and running back, Tua is going to do a lot of work.
Sharif, check this out. Check this out,
at a
Sharif.
better speed. So what he's going to do, Pete, let me give him a couple of seconds. If you look at the fake handoff to the right with Garoppolo, that gets the defense, and the motion gets the defense to go to the right, and then now Garoppolo rolls out to the left with green grass, but he's not athletic enough as Tua to actually take that for 20 yards and slide. So with Tua, we're going to see that fake handoff to the right side, and he's going to roll out and have green grass like I was going to say the swear jar word, but like a bee. He's going to have green grass, and that's the example where Tua is going to thrive in I formation. Go ahead.
But is that his throwing side though?
No, it can be fake handoff to the left, play action, roll out to the right. But the main thing is Garoppolo is not nearly athletic as Tua, which is why I think Tua can give me 300 yards, which is 18 yards a game.
300 yards doing what?
That's not Deshaun Watson. That's not Lamar. That's just extending plays to 18 yards a game. Add that up. That's what we want out of Tua, to extend plays. That's all I want on. That's 300 yards.
So what I wanted to say, Sharif, because I see what you're saying and I agree with what you're saying, and I hope
What is
we
1,
go
2,
that
3, 4
route.
F's talking about? I said I'm in the office.
Hold on, Bonjo. And I want that power formation. But if we go back to last year, we drafted a fullback. We had this discussion, Sharif. We thought, yes, we're going to use a fullback now. Do you guys remember those conversations? And I don't remember if it was on Larry.
Yeah,
there you go, with Cox. You remember, Sharif. And we were having discussions. We're going to run the power. We're going to run I formation. Next thing you know, week 1 comes around. He's not on the roster. And the guy playing fullback is our rookie tight end, Hunter Long.
I think Gailey cut him.
Actually, here's a question for
but
everybody.
that's a previous coaching staff.
Brian, here's a question for
Let's
everybody.
cut it out.
Go on, Bonjo.
Hold on, guys. Here's a question for everybody, because everybody keeps saying we're going to run this, we're going to run that, right? You know what we run, and this is based off what McDaniel says. So do you think we're going to run a full all-out offense, or are we going to run something that's tailored to Tua? Because if Tua is limited because we saw that with the past coaching staff, and actually we heard this the past two offensive coaching staff, where who was the first? Chad
Von
O'Shea, was it?
Joe. Von Joe,
Let me
you don't
finish.
even
Let me
need.
finish. Let me
I
finish.
know
Let me
where you're
finish.
going. We
No,
know.
let me finish. Don't do that. Let me finish. I let everybody rock. Let me finish. So he said that he pretty much had to limit the playbook, or that Tua didn't know the entire playbook. We saw that last year with these two offensive coordinators, it was a limited playbook, right? A lot of our plays looked the same. It was the same plays. It was almost like a book of 25 plays, really. And is McDaniel going to really open it up and Tua's going to grasp all of it? Or is it going to be a limited playbook to what he grasps? What do
Of
you guys
course,
think is
it's a
going to happen?
limited playbook when you got limited offensive coordinators who likes to throw screen passes and
But check this out, Von.
No, see, you're saying that it's a limited
Von,
to limited coordinators, but again, is it limited to what he could grasp?
Well, that's
listen.
what we're gonna have to figure out because,
That's what
like I said,
last
it could
year
also
we
be
were
coaching
told.
because the offensive coordinator have shown that they cannot put players in the best position. They couldn't put Waddle in open space. They tried in the Saints game and they never did it again.
Oh, because of one game, but that guy broke rookie
So we
records.
don't even
Hey,
know where
Von,
to is
check this
best
out.
at because you can't even run an RPO with no run game.
Check this
Let's
out.
cut it
We
out.
were told last year, and we know this already. What did the coaches say? We know this. They gave him what he was able to handle. That limited our playbook, so we had to be
Your
quick
offensive lineman
passing
limit your playbook. Let's
RPO.
cut it out.
This was on
Let's cut
Tua's
it out.
name. Right,
Because
So
right,
Joe
Von, you
Burrow
with
in the
me? So
Packers
you know
game
this was on Tua's
was
name.
making
So
a
now
sandwich
it's
and,
kind of
and he
weird that
was
you asked
cooking
that
in the
question because
microwave.
Hey,
guys,
one at a
guys,
time.
guys,
One at
guys,
a
we're
time.
talking
Brian,
over
please,
One
each
bro,
at a
you're
other.
in your
time.
feelings.
We're
Last
talking
Hey,
time
over
I
each
Von,
checked,
other.
Joe
Von.
Burrow in the Packers
Now
game
this
had
is what
almost
he
a
was
4
limited to.
seconds and to throw
Von,
that
this is
Steven,
what
pass
you
he
to
can
was
let the
Steven,
route
limited to,
develop. Let's cut it
based
out.
on what he was able
The
to
reason why we
handle.
was running the
Right?
ball like we
All
was
right,
doing the
all right, all
RPO
right.
like
Hold on. One at a time. Pete first, Brian second. Go ahead,
So
Pete.
Von, thank you, Stephen. So Von, it was based on what he was able to handle, and that was said by the coaches to us on tour. And that's the reason why I asked, is McDaniel going to be a genius if they see him in the same system because this is what he was limited to, or are we going to change it? And just to answer a little bit of your question and go off direction, you got to remember, Von, the only team that threw it shorter than us was the 49ers with Mike McDaniel and Kyle Shanahan. Jimmy G
yep.
was the shortest. So if we got all of this to keep it short, think about it.
Oh,
It's a big walking question mark. Go ahead.
okay. All right, Brian. Your turn, Brian. Go ahead, bro. Take yourself off mute.
the reason why I was limited because you had an offensive line like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear. It's clear as day.
Okay, so that was short and sweet.
Brian, I said the floor was yours. You could.
No, he don't need much of a floor, man. He needs
I
two
mean, no,
squares.
he
That's
made
it.
his point. So Von Joe, go ahead and respond to those two.
No, and those things are two good, valid points, right? Because at the end of the day, none of us are in the room, none of us know, right? And that's the real telling part of what I want to see during the offseason and in these first couple games is how open and dynamic our offense is going to be, right? Because at the end of the day, Brian is completely right. Because at the end of the day, you could only tailor your offense to what you have. And one of the things we had is a limitation on our offensive line. So how could you really open up a playbook if your quarterback don't have that much time? At the same time, Pete is also correct because you could only open up your offense to the limitation of what your quarterback could get done and could grasp. So
But
the beautiful thing.
let me
Hold on, Stephen. Let me just make my last statement. So in the beautiful world of Stephen in this morning show, two things could be right.
Two things can be right.
but now, can I switch it up now?
Hold on, real
These,
quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Pete. Let me say two things. Number one, let me bring in Green Rat here. Okay, what's up, Green Rat?
What's up, Green Rat?
Green Rat.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Sharif blew that for you, man. It was a Hyundai coming your way, but Sharif just had to keep going
Sharif
and stuff.
blew it?
So, yep, it was Sharif.
It was all Sharif's fault. I had $100 donation
with a little dose of crypto in there too, but
look, crypto
no.
and Sharif. What are y'all doing to me? What are y'all doing to me? All right, real quick. Let me just say this to Von Joe's point. I think that when you look at that you look at like Pete's and Brian. Brian dropped off. Brian, get back on here. I think it's a perception thing. They both looked at the same exact thing and perceived it two different ways. Now, does that mean the way Pete's looking at it is right and Brian's looking at it is wrong? Or does that mean the way that Brian's looking at it is right and the way that Pete's looking at it is wrong? Because Von Joe said it perfectly the way I say it all the time, all the time on the show. Two things can be true for the same thing. So the question is, how does McDaniel change that? That's what the question is. It's not the perception anymore. How can we take both those things that are true and make it better and improve upon it? And my thought is McDaniel's already started to do that by bringing in the offensive coaching staff that he's brought. Applebaum, you all know how I feel about him. And the other thing that I think will also be is confidence level. If my quarterback feels more confident with the people around him, with quarterback feels more confident by the plays that are being called that's catered to his strengths, I think that you will see a better quarterback. And I think that's part of the situation.
Look, this is where I'm at with it right now with Tua. If McDaniel wants credit, I need to see Tua and what Sharif was just talking about. I formations, weak formations, strong, different style football, okay? And we got to try to run the ball, work them off the play action, bootlegs. And you could, even though he's left-handed, you could bootleg him to the right. He has just that enough speed to get his body in position again to throw the ball accurate enough. We just need to do it. Now, here's the thing. If that happens, the credit goes to McDaniels. Now, if Tua wants the credit, it has to be the same offensive scheme that we saw last year, and he has to excel at it. RPO, quick rhythm is not going to be deep, but he needs to be 70% completions, nail it all over the field, let these guys run after catch. He does all of that real beautiful, and it was the same scheme because that's what we were told that he's limited to, and let's not forget that. If it comes around, then you know what? The players around him got better, he progressed, and the credit actually goes to Tua because McDaniel didn't do anything.
Okay.
That's actually a good point, Pete. And what I would say is, right, because I asked, do you see Steve Young in Tua's ceiling this year if he does break our expectations? Do you see Steve Young or who? And who I see is,
wait,
remember,
hold on. Which Steve Young?
The Steve Young in San
Not
Fran.
Tampa Bay Steve Young.
No, I'm just saying, which Steve Young? Because we had like Steve Young was just Super Bowl right off the bat. Steve Young sat for a couple years behind a great quarterback.
Exactly. But what I noticed with Steve Young is with I forgot the coach who coached San Francisco at the time.
Sharif, this is the only reason I bring that is because here's the one reason I don't like to do comparisons is we compare these guys that are still developing and still growing to these other greats at their peak. So are we comparing Tua next year is going to be at Steve Young at his peak? Because that's when people do comparisons, you're comparing at somebody's peak.
Thank you, Vaughn. Are you guys real like old NFL fans? Because if you are, then you know George Seifert. So if you know George Seifert, then you know about Mike Mamula and Harris Barton and all the blocking machine that blocked for Steve Young, right? So this my point is Steve Young ran the same exact offense that came from George Seifert that went to Shanahan, that went to Shanahan's son. Now, if we know that Tua is going to do something that's similar to what Pete's talking about, which is strong, weak, I formation pro, then I'm telling you right now, it's going to be Steve Young because Steve Young did the fake handoff to the right. He was open for green grass with the left when they overcommitted, and that's just the play action run. It's about 20 quarterbacks who cannot do that. That's why I say Tua has to show me. For him, my ceiling for Tua is to maximize being a dual threat. 3,000 yards, less than 3,000 yards, I don't give a shit. Oh, sorry, swear jar.
Swear jar, Sharif.
Hey,
Steven, can I say something too?
Five rushing touchdowns. 5 rushing touchdowns,
Oh,
300 yards rushing. You slide and you give me less than 2,800 yards passing. I'm good with that because he's keeping the drives alive and he's winning the game.
Hold on, real quick, Steven. I want to just give a shout out to Estefan, who was it on Friday or Saturday, where he had a great spaces on Twitter that was a non-toxic space for Dolphin people to come and have a wonderful conversation. We were on there for like 3-4 hours, and there was no cussing, there was no fighting, there was no arguing. It was nice and safe. It was a safe space. So shout out to you, Estefan.
Yes, sir.
That's right, Steven. Out of everybody, me. You would have never thought, but it was me. Man, I was trying to hop in here earlier, but my phone was dying. You guys gave a lot of great points, man. The whole Steve Young thing, stealing floor, man, it's up to Tua to be able to get there. He's flashed Steve Young already. He just has, with the team that's built around him, what should happen is it should happen this year. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It should, because I think I've seen enough positive and enough flashing that he should be able to do it. The problem is the consistency is not there. So with a better offensive line, elite weapons, like, he's getting it from all NFL circles. If this doesn't pan out for him this year, he's not that guy. You know what I mean? And that's just a fact. But it's not hating. It's just the reality of it. It should happen. You know what I mean? We should. But when you're a fan and you put all your hope that it's going to happen, like it's a matter of fact, and without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to happen, you're potentially leading yourself to disappointment if it doesn't. And that's going to be a hard fall if he doesn't come through. You know what I mean?
That's only because Esther, that's only because you cannot build a perfect team around somebody. You can't. It's impossible. It's financially impossible to build a perfect all-star team around one particular person. So there are going to be some weak spots, and that's where he has to elevate his play to overshadow those weak spots that the team might have.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. See, this year, if you put all that weaponry around him and all that protection and it don't pan out, in my opinion, the people that are sold that it's going to happen, they're going to have the hardest time dealing with the losses that we're going to take. Whereas, so you just kind of in the middle, you need to wait to see. That's my approach. I need to wait to see that this is going to work out, because history's already repeated itself multiple times in the NFL, and that's in all sports. You can look at the Lakers this year, loaded.
Oh my goodness, you ain't kidding.
Loaded. There's only 5 positions on the court in basketball. You don't need, if you have one blue chipper on the floor, that in the NBA that changes the trajectory of your whole team. Let alone they had 3, plus they had Carmelo Anthony. So I'm just saying, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't get it to be cohesive on the floor in the NBA or on the field in the NFL, it makes for a real toxic fan base. So a lot of people come at me, Pete, and people that just try to speak objectively for the most part. I know EM's very objective. He gets killed a lot, but if you just really take the time out to listen to what we're trying to say, we're not trying
EM's not objective. He's a hater. I'm just
yeah, but and as far as when Von Joe was mentioned in the space, man, the reason I opened up the space was because it was like 2 times in 1 week that former NFL players were getting attacked, drug into like just the dirt with, people that should be appreciative that they even communicated with them on Twitter or spoke with them. Because I spoke with Pete was in that space too. We spoke with Antonio Cromartie Friday, and he gave a lot of good just life advice about business. He gave you insight about the game, being a coach, being a player. Some
guys, when y'all do that, y'all need to get them and say, "Hey, look, there's a YouTube morning show that you need to come on and see if you can set that up when y'all have a guy come on."
I will, but first of all, I can't be waiting backstage for 5 minutes. But
I would never.
I need to be on right away, damn it.
Ever.
I'm just playing. So let me make a point real quick. So the guy just shared basic views. He had some takes about his team because he's coaching at A&M, And within a few minutes of him leaving the space, somebody had already posted former NFL 4-time Pro Bowler said this, said that, like dragging the guy's name. And it also happened the week, I think earlier in the week with Chris Long. And I heard everything that happened with that. And space was about, look, if you're going to be a troll and you're going to entice somebody into something, then when it comes back the other way, you need to learn to be able to take it, is what I was saying. So Chris Long, a lot of people are going to say, no, that was, he said something racist. And, I think differently on that topic. I won't speak about it on this panel, but I'll open up a space and talk about it because I don't care. No, that was nothing. That had nothing to do with race. It didn't. But the guy played the race card because Chris Long went back at him. That's what happened with that and the Cromartie thing. So that's why, look, basically what it's about is there's a lot of toxicity right now in social media, and they're trying to spew it over
YouTube included.
Yeah, YouTube. Well, they're trying to, look, man, we're just fans of a team. Like, have fun with it. But if you're going to be that guy, you're going to be that troll where you're actually attacking people and making things personal, people's family lives and stuff, then at that point, I'll pay to the swear jar. You're a piece of shit. You need to be a grown ass man about what you're doing.
Schefter, I hope you're taking care of these players today.
Yeah, and not be so appalled when somebody tells you something back. That's all that I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna dish it out, you need to be able to take that shit. That stuff is ridiculous, man. They got YouTubers not wanting to walking on eggshells to where they can't open up and just have a show and freely talk because they're so concerned with if they say the wrong thing, they're going to get killed on Twitter. They're going to attack the chat. They're going to try to get people to unsubscribe. Like that. That's not the way it should be. That's not what these platforms were meant for. All this, the beginning of all this and where all this started was with radio, baby. Radio. That's where it all started, and it transitioned into social media, YouTube, and from there on. So, you know what I mean? That's where everything started. Look at the origins of where all this started with people having shows and people calling in and having conversations about sports in general. That's all it was a back and forth. It's for fun. But what it's turning into is a toxic environment and people trying to cancel each other out. And that's there needs to be somebody that needs to just start canceling that shit out and bring that to the forefront, because I don't think people realize where it's coming from, or they might not even realize what they're doing. You're sitting there trying to drag people that have a certain status, they have some type of celebrity. You're dragging them under the mud just so that you can gain clout on social media. You're not going to get paid from that shit. All you did was just ruin somebody else's career. For what? Because now you want to play a race card? Come on now, man.
All right, Estefan, you got a lot on your chest, son. A lot on your chest. Hey, swear jar, big time. You owe $500 to the swear jar.
Let me get these scratch offs done, and then I'll let you know.
Hey, Steven, can I say something again?
Go ahead, MCJB. Floor is yours, buddy.
I told you, man. I told you
about what?
The
What
Masters.
did you tell me?
Tiger
About
was
the
not winning that thing.
Masters. Well, hello, friends, and welcome.
I told you, man.
To the Masters.
He was not winning.
Look, he didn't have a great weekend, but he didn't have a bad one. Like, you ought to understand, that's the hardest course to play.
I know. I'm just playing. I was just giving you hell.
And yeah,
it was just good to see him out there.
It was so good to see him out there.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to agree on that. I do agree.
For 2.5 days, I watched every swing of Tigers for those first 2.5 days.
I know, but Steven,
on that third day, I was like, I can't do it no more.
Steven, I don't like it. You should have saw it all the way through, man.
Oh, well, hey, look, I have a thing called a life. I have a family.
No.
They were already mad at me that I sat on the couch for 2 days and watched it.
Nah, Steven, if you got to take those naps on the first day, I need you to take naps on all the way through.
No.
But hey, I'm about to leave. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.
All right, MCJB, be good, brother.
All right, MC.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clap Blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. All right, let me bring Brian back in. What's up, Brian? You left us.
Yeah, my reception was kind of bad.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're back, man. I'm glad you're
Hey,
back.
I want to add on to something that Estefan said a little earlier. If you look at the Cleveland Browns at one time, they had built a team with a lot of talent, and we seen what happened with that.
The QB was trash.
Yeah, Baker couldn't get it done. That's
Yeah,
basically what happened.
that's pretty much it.
Right, and plus
And
look
that
at all the talent on
and
that team.
that's the same situation we're in. You know,
Exactly.
at the end of the day, this is on Tua. It's not going to be on McDaniel. It's not going to be it's Tua. If Tua succeeds, the Dolphins will succeed. If Tua kind of fails or gives us what he's been giving us, then it's just not going to be enough. That's just what it is.
Well, I'm hoping, and I'm hoping it's going to happen, is with support, with proper support, we will also get more consistency from him, right? And if we could get that consistent Tua, I mean, listen, the heck with playoffs. I always said if we get into the playoffs, we're going all the way.
Listen, support only gets you so far, because I go to every Friday night game when my son plays football, and I support him, and he makes mistakes sometimes. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, the players got to play. So yeah, we can support Tua, but
no, I'm saying support from the coaching. Like if he gets a proper support, maybe
Yeah,
we
bro,
could
it's
find
important.
more consistency.
No matter how you slice it and dice it, it's important. And he's finally getting that this season, and now he's gonna get the chance this year to show whether he's a Baker Mayfield or he's not. It's simple.
And Esther, the only reason why I say that is because I feel like everybody is different, right? And especially with this new age of youngins coming in, it's like we can't really have the same cookie cutter approach for everybody. So we do have to have that different approach. And that's one of the things that I like about McDaniel is that he truly does speak about having different approaches to teaching and really directing on how people learn, right? And that's why I think this new age of players is probably more gravitates around to coaches like him, like the McVays of the world, right? That have that abstract type of thinking where, you know what, I'm going to focus over here and I'm going to check my ego at the door and hire somebody for that defensive side. That's why the Rams are so successful. He just literally hands off on the defense and hired somebody to take care of that, control that. I'm not going to interfere with that side of the ball. I'm checking my ego right here, right? And you could see like the Kingsburys, right? Where it's a different type of coaching where you see him, he's on social media with that nice pad, fire on the outside and laid back. It's just literally this new age of players. You can't use that old cookie cutter mentality, right? And you're also going to see this going into the college ranks where these guys are going to have more money, and you can't have that, hey, same mentality that you have from before. You got to adjust. You got to, how should I say, evolve to this new, you got to evolve to this new age of coaching. That's all it is. So
Vaughn, you're right, but it goes from the coaches and they from there they hand the baton off to the players. Right. What their vision for the team is and how they want things to be executed, it's going to happen on the field. Right, but the reason why I'm saying is it's important because that's what deals with all professional sports. The coaches have a vision. They're trying to translate that onto the field, but the part that's the most important is they have to get these guys to buy in. Like there has to be a sense of, especially with us, like we're all in. There needs to be a sense of urgency where like, this is my vision, bro. I need Tua and everybody, not just Tua, but everybody on the team needs to get a hold. They need to get a hold of that playbook and need to become students of the game. That's where it starts. They need to get that mental aspect going.
At work.
They have to, man, because that's where it starts. Because once you get that, bro, you know what you're doing out on the field. So I think that, we got a lot of young guys on the team. That's where this team is going to have to take off. The other thing that they need to become is they need to have more of a dog mentality. And see, this is what I liked about that space when Camardi was talking. He straight up said when he's coaching his CBs at A&M, he said he straight up told them, I want you out there on the field talking shit to these guys, these other guys. I don't have time to worry about that. You're
up on the swear jar.
I mean, this is just what he was saying. I I don't have time for you to sit here and worry about the fact that you're going up against Alabama and be intimidated. I need you to listen to my instruction, and I need you to go out there and be a dog. Go out there and smack talk back and forth with each other because it elevates your game. This is coming from a 4-time Pro Bowler, and I took heed to his words. I believe what he said to be true because I think that if Tua came in as student of the game and incorporated more of a dog mentality, I think that would take his game to where he needs to in the NFL because these are grown men and they're trying to hurt you. You also got to know what you're doing on the field, which will help you from getting hurt. You know what I mean? It'll prevent you from getting hurt. You have to have knowledge of the game. You can't be out there and, you can't be out there on the field and not have a grasp on what you're supposed to do and your responsibilities. That does get you hurt at every position. And basically that applies to any sport. If you're out in any field, on a soccer field, football field, it doesn't matter. Any sport in general, basketball. If you're out there and you don't have knowledge of what you're doing, you're going to get yourself hurt, man. That's all across the board.
I hear that.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show, Clap Blockers. We're in the afternoon now. Let's go ahead and wrap up and do final thoughts of the day. I do want to remind you guys, if you owe to the swear jar this morning, pay up. Pay up. Pay your swear jar fees. Let's go. Also want to remind you guys, too, if you guys are interested, courtesy of ZSM Sports, if you donate in increments of $10, you will get in a raffle for a autographed Jerome Baker mini helmet. An autographed Jerome Baker mini helmet. It's not a great picture, but there is a picture of the mini helmets there. Jerome Baker mini helmets, courtesy of ZSM Sports of Jerome Baker. We'll do that raffle on Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon. So be on the lookout for that, okay? Want to remind you guys, if you have not hit the like button, hit the like button. Donate to the channel. Share, subscribe, and get your friends and family to subscribe to the channel. I cannot grow without your help. So when you guys share the link, make sure you get them to subscribe to the channel. Very important. Subscribe. Again, I want to give a big shout out to TD Fins Talk. 20,000 subscribers he hit over the weekend on YouTube. Big deal.
Congrats, TD.
Big freaking
Shout
deal.
out, TD.
Go, TD.
So definitely want to make sure that happens. So let's go ahead and do final thoughts of the day. Let's start out with Brian. Brian, final thought of the day.
You guys hear me now? My reception been bad.
Yeah, man. You were good.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, Tua's gonna be all right, man. Now we actually have teachers. I mean, we had Shadow Shea, and everybody on the offense said that offense was too hard, which is why they fired him. I mean, so it's like Tua's gonna come in there. He's gonna learn the playbook. The kid is not a dumb kid. And other guys are gonna come in there. We have better people in the locker room, like Crypto been saying. We'll have a Devontae Parker. So we actually have people like Tyreek Hill, that Jalen Waddle gets to look up to. We have veteran presence in the offensive line where our young guys can go to those vets and ask them a question. And then on top of that, they got good coaching. That's support. So your players do need support, especially when they're young coming in the NFL. So I believe we're going to the Super Bowl, and I don't see nobody that could tell me we're not. Buffalo Bills first game.
Let's go. Let's go. I like it. All right, Brian, be good, bro.
I'll go next.
All right, no problem. Go ahead, Espen.
Yeah, I actually like what he said at the end, man. Ain't nothing wrong with like being a fan, bro. That's the big part of this. That is the fan time, but like realistically, you got to crawl before you can walk, one step at a time approach. Like, yeah, they do need a gun for the Super Bowl though. I can't even lie. With the way that they're stacked, all the coaches that they brought in, hey man, it's now or never. Start with the division, and then go from there. Win the division though. So, but yeah, thanks for having me on, Steven. I'm out, y'all. Y'all treat each other.
Hey, Espen, you owe to the swear jar this morning, sir. Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you, Espen. You're not gonna walk away from me. All right, Espen, you're on the list. Let's go. All right, who's next? Let's go to
I'll go. Hey, so thanks for having me, Steven. Always a pleasure. At the end of the day, I'm very optimistic. about the team, the direction that we're taking, but we have to get rid of the notion that people are trying to deflect or say that, you know what, it's not all on Tua. It's very unfair to do, but it is what it is. When you put that position, you get paid, and you're the center of the offense, the center of the team. It is all on the quarterback. This is the one position that we've been trying to get right for a while. This is one position that all NFL teams are trying to get right and striving for. Right? You had Goff go to the Super Bowl, and the Rams still said, "Thanks for coming. You didn't get the job done," and they got somebody that got the job done. Right? Because it is on the QB. So it is you handle the ball on every offensive play, right? You are supposed to be the brain and the extension of that head coach, right? Or that offensive coordinator on the field. So I'm optimistic. Like I said, our coach and his philosophy hopefully will be able to unlock, or I'm going to just simply say bring the best out of him. And hopefully what he brings out of him is sufficient enough for us to get the job done, right? So let me put that out there. Does that sounds fair enough, right?
100%.
Yep.
Sure does.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So till then, man, fins up. Hey, Steven, love you.
Bonjo, tell the people what to do, because they didn't
Guys.
listen. They're not listening to me.
All right, so let me bring this up close. Come here, guys. Come here.
Matter of
Come
fact, here. Let me put
All right,
you on
yeah,
the big screen.
guys, come here. Come on, let's get close. Let's bring it into a huddle. All right. So we have the national media. I can't say this enough. They don't show us any love. You get like 10 minutes of Dolphin news, but you will get about 3 minutes of Dolphin news, 5 minutes of coverage if it's something negative, if it's something trashing our quarterback, trashing our team, trashing our legacy, trashing our anything Miami Dolphins. We'll get about 5 minutes of that. But if it's anything positive, you get about 2 minutes, about this much.
Facts. Those are facts.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You know?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yeah, there was a call that came
I
out.
just wanted to make sure we got it.
I think the national media tried to cut me off. But guys, we have a community. We have this show in the morning that give us better Dolphin news than First Take, anything ESPN, anything on Fox Sports, right? So let's support Miami sports music instead of all those other things, and come together, donate, subscribe, support the show. Let us grow as a community so Steven could keep giving us this wonderful commentary and giving us a platform to air our grievances, and not only air our grievances, also support our team and still throw it up and say fins up. So subscribe and donate. What you waiting for?
Well, how much should they donate, Bonjo? How much should they donate if they want to donate?
Listen, I'm going to be fair. It is Monday. Anything helps. Even if it's $1, 100 pennies, 20 nickels,
dollar,
10 dimes, 4 quarters. If you even have 2 50-cent pieces, put them together. Just donate.
It's $1.
Right? Exactly. It's just $1.
If you want to put that decimal behind the 2 zeros, I won't be mad at you either.
Exactly. We ain't gonna be mad at you. All right? What they said. Listen, we like the currency that fold, but the type that jingle is okay too. All right. So anything helps.
You're the man.
All right,
I love
man.
you, man.
Yep. Fins up.
All right, Bonjo.
Fins up. All right. Let's go to Miami Polk Fins. Final thought of the day.
I found thought is this. Like I said, I like the direction that we're going in, and it's just like I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. We get, like I said, once we get to the first few games, we're gonna see what we have, and that's not, and it just doesn't apply to Tua. It applies to the whole team. So we just gotta be positive and support our quarterback and support our other players, and let's move forward, and we'll see what's going to happen.
Hey, Miami Polk Fins, thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate the content this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me. Crypto, I'll see you later, bro.
All right, man. Hey, I'll see you later, man.
All right.
All right, Luis, final thought of the day.
What up, Steven? Thanks for always having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man.
I'm kind of with Von Joe, to piggyback on Von Joe said, like the quarterback in this league, it's all about the quarterback. if we win, the quarterback gets the credit. When they lose, they get the blame. That's just a fact. So, when I hear people, oh, we got Tyreek Hill, and those are all nice, but the only way they get the ball is if Tua delivers. You know what I'm saying? So we can have all the players we want, and it sucks to say, but it's just the reality of this league. It's all about the quarterback. So again, if the quarterback succeeds, I see us succeeding. If he kind of gives us what we've seen before, the inconsistencies and stuff, it's kind of like what we've been dealing with. We got to depend on the defense, and you might win a couple games like Detroit, Chicago, teams like that. But if we all want this team to make the playoffs and be in the Super Bowl, to beat teams that we're going to be seeing in the playoffs, like the Chiefs, Bills, maybe the Chargers, you got to score points, and the only way you're going to do that is with a quarterback that is able to match, point by point. And it is what it is, man. I'm not a hater on Tua. I want the kid to succeed, but he just has to be better. And hopefully, I'm with everybody. Hopefully this coaching staff can do it, can bring it out of him. But at the end of the day, coaching is one thing and support is one thing. But he's on, like Estefan said, it comes down to the players. And he's the one that has the ball 75, 80% of the time. He has to get the job done. And I'll leave you guys with that, man. Fins up. Appreciate the show, Stephen, all the time. And y'all boys be easy.
Thank you, Luis. I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it, Luis.
Final thought of the day, my man, Crypto. What is up, baby?
What's going on, Steven? Yeah, I have to piggyback on what Lewis and Vonjo was saying. Yeah, quarterback-driven league. The trend is passing league. My new hashtag is hashtag 60-40, baby. It can be done with that ratio. All is not lost if we got the 60-40 ratio pass versus run. It's been done. Super Bowl champions had that exact ratio, and then the past two Super Bowl champions had that with the Buccaneers and Chiefs. So it can be done. If you got the weaponry, use them. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy.
Which we do.
You're right. We got it. Don't be shy. We wanted Tuscaloosa Tua. We gave them the weapons. Don't be afraid and shy to use them. Let's not go be the Titans. Let's go try to be the Rams. Or for that sense, the 1990s version of the 49ers with Rice and Taylor. We got our version of Steve Young with the lefty at quarterback. Tua is very smart. What Brian was saying is true. Brian was right. He's a smart quarterback. He should be able to learn the playbook in one off season. Nothing more, nothing less. The off season, that's what the money is made for you to get in the books, learn what you have to learn for the offense, and hit the ground running on week one. There should be no excuses coming out of the gate. He's a smart guy. Let's give him that benefit. He will know the playbook going in. If he don't, then we know he's not the guy. That would be the test. Because he's got what build around him. Lewis is right. Let's go get the defensive weapons too. Because defense, we got weapons on defense too. Let's go get the linebacker that we need that middle linebacker so we can close the deal on defense. We already got an elite secondary. We got pretty much a good premium defensive line. That's more than serviceable. With Jalen Phillips coming up the ranks and his and Agba. So we got a mixing of a good front seven. We just got to go seal the deal with get that linebacker like what Lewis was talking about. That should be the remaining focus for the rest of the offseason. Other than that, I think Greer packed it up, man. I think he folded the tent and said, we're done this offseason. He's just gonna look toward the draft and see what he could pick up along the way. I think that's probably what we're going at right now. So I think that's where we at with the rest of the offseason. I think he pretty
good
much
observation, and I don't necessarily disagree with you, man.
Yeah, I think Greer folding it up. He's saying, hey, we're going to go what we got. And we're going to try to pick up that linebacker if we can in the draft or make some final moves before the start of the season to close the deal on defense. I think he's set. I think he's pretty much set on what he wants his offense to look like. That's why I came with the pass ratio 60-40 because of the makeup of the team. And that's the strength of our offense, to do that.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Any final thoughts about what the people watching need to do? Tell them what they need to go do, Crypto.
They need to go like, comment, and subscribe, and get your boy Stephen D in the top 1% of Bitcoin holders so he can hold 0.25% of Bitcoin. That's that will put him in the 1%. Just owning 0.25 Bitcoin.
Hey,
let's
I'm
get
with it.
Stephen D there.
And what do they need to do in order to do that?
They got to go donate. Get on a Cash App, donate, send it through Cash App or through Robinhood or whatever. That QR code right there would do. Oh, you got the PayPal code. I didn't know you had a PayPal code. Okay, you know PayPal accept Bitcoin too, Stephen D.
I did not do it.
Yeah, you can accept crypto. You can convert it to crypto with PayPal too.
Hey,
so you can
donate.
You can change it over.
Donate right now.
There you go.
Donate. Let's go.
Yeah, you can do a Cash App, Robinhood, Gemini, all of them. So I'm gonna be doing that Sunday thing as well. I'm gonna be putting together on Sundays. Try to get together some onboarding things. Trying to find a good time slot on Sunday or Monday to do it.
You're the man.
They can have people come on and ask questions on how to get started, how to get their wallet started, cold wallets, security, hot wallets, custodianship, non-custodian versus custodian, all that good stuff on how to, the whole security of the cryptocurrency space and how to protect themselves against the shysters that's out there that's selling wolf tickets. Stay away from the wolf tickets.
You're the man,
Yep.
Crypto. I appreciate it, brother. Be good.
I appreciate it, Stephen D.
Thank you,
We
man.
enjoy it.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show. Clock Blockers. Hope you all enjoyed it this morning. I had a lot of fun. We got about 4 minutes left till 3. So donate. Donate in the last 3 minutes of the show. Let's see how many Can we get to 10 donations? Can we get 10 donations in the last 3 minutes of the show? Everybody donate $10 right now. $10, $5, $1. It doesn't matter. Donate. Let's get 10 donations. 10 donations in the last 3 minutes of the show. Go. I really enjoyed it. I hope you all had a lot of fun. Tomorrow's show is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have Daniel Oyefusi on of the Miami Herald to do the Dolphins report, ever famous Dolphins report. That will be a lot of fun. If you guys missed it from last week, I went ahead and just put up the back-to-back baseball segment on its own. So for all you baseball fans, please go share that on social media and go rewatch. Hit the like button. I set up its own little thing. So make sure you guys go watch that. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. And again, Tailgreeter, big shout out to them. They're a big sponsor of the show. Make sure you guys go download the app. Make sure you guys follow them on social media at Tailgreeter, TAILGREETER. All right, 2 minutes left of the show. Come on, 2 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. I love it. Come on, y'all. Want to remind you guys later on this year, I will have more information. We are going to do, I'm just going to get the hype built up. When the schedule comes out, mark your calendars. It will be a fun weekend here in Baltimore. The Baltimore Beatdown 2022 Dolphins Ravens. I'll be hosting it. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to have information on hotels, pregame party, the night before party, tailgates, all that stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you check that out. Let's go. All right. Again, big shout out to ZSM Sports. If you donate in increments of $10, you will get entered to win a autographed mini helmet of Jerome Baker. Okay? Jerome Baker mini helmet. Great piece for the man cave. Great piece for the man cave. Come on now. You know you want it. You know you want it. Let's go. Let's go. All right, Miami Sports Music. I had a lot of fun hanging out with y'all today. We're in the last minute of the show. Nobody donated. That's all right. Hey, go back and at least hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and share this with people. Share it with people. Let people know. Can't grow without y'all's help. Need y'all's help to grow. All right, I had a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed everything. It was a lot of fun today. This is the best morning show on the earth. So, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami Fan Morning Show right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I will see y'all tomorrow right here on Take Tuesday with Daniel Oyefusi. Last 50 seconds of the show. I'm going to leave it up. Anybody going to donate? Let's go. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.